Against Denver, the Cavaliers, Atlanta, Chicago, Dallas, and the road victory against Golden State on Saturday night. It left the Sonics at 8-0, second only to the 82-83 team that got off to 12-0. Tonight, we'll see what happens in number 9 in Sacramento. Coming up next. Sonics basketball is being brought to you by Cold Filtered Miller Genuine Draft and Miller Genuine Draft Light. Say GD Light and say no more. Subaru, now the leader in all-wheel drive technology. Farmers Insurance, America depends on farmers. Coca-Cola, always in the game, always Coca-Cola. See First Bank, proud to be a sponsor of the Seattle SuperSonics. Taco Time, anytime is taco time. AT&T, a proud sponsor of the NBA and the SuperSonics. Washington State Lottery's Lotto game. What you do with the money is up to you. And by Jeep and Eagle, who invite you to test drive the Eagle Vision Sports Sedan. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Arco Arena, Sacramento, California. Along with Wally Walker, I'm Kevin Calabro. The Sonic streak alive at 8-0, one of only two teams remaining in the NBA undefeated at half. At Utah, Houston trailed the Jazz by 1 point. We'll keep a track on that game for you. Meantime, here in Sacramento, the Kings have won 4, have lost nothing here at the arena. They've been pounded, though, on the road, losing 5. 1 under 500. This is one of their quickest home starts since the franchise was in Cincinnati in the mid-60s. The Sonics tonight will be without the services of Kendall Gill. He is still in Seattle undergoing tests for migraine headaches that caused him to miss the practice yesterday. Hopefully, he'll be with the basketball team when they travel to Minnesota on Friday for the first of 4 games in 6 nights. The Sonics and the Sacramento Kings. The Sonics controlled the Kings last year, winning 4 out of 5. And here, since they've been in Sacramento now 8 years, this being their 9th campaign, the Sonics have split 20 games with the Kings. They've got a very good record against the Kings. Sacramento playing without Spud Webb. We'll be back with Wally Walker and keys to the game in just a moment here on the Sonics Broadcasting Network.
Time now for Keys to the Game, brought to you by your Puget Sound Jeep and Eagle dealers, who invite you to test drive the Eagle Vision Sports Sedan.
Welcome back to Arco Arena. I'm Kevin Calabro, now joined by Wally Walker. You know, Wally, when Michael Jordan left the building, people around the league were saying, well, who would be the next best point guard in the NBA? And we've got a pretty good candidate here tonight.
Sure. One of the contenders is definitely Sacramento Kings' Mitch Richmond. Mitch combines enormous strength where he takes it to the basket with force, draws a lot of fouls. He's also an outstanding outside shooter. He's averaging 23 a game coming off an all-star season last year and the broken thumb, but 9th in the league in scoring again this year. He'll be defensed to start this ball game by Nate McMillan. Nate, a terrific defender, leads the Sonics in steals and assists again. But Nate is also more offensive-minded this year. Been looking at the basket, strokes 3 3-pointers against Golden State Saturday night, and also taken to the glass with a lot of confidence and force.
Bobby Hurley was the 7th pick in the draft this year by the Kings. 6 feet, 165 pounds, soaking wet, but he's a winner. He did it twice at Duke. He was a starter with Mike Krzyzewski's group since a freshman, but he's struggling, as all rookies will. 27% from the field the last 7 ball games.
Well, particularly from the point guard position, it's the toughest adjustment for any player to make from college to the pros. All the top point guards in the league have been coming at him hard, testing him. I guarantee you Gary Payton will do that here tonight.
Rebounding, as always, a key to winning a basketball game. The Kings have been out-rebounded 7 of 9 this year. Good offensive team, Wally. They're good on the offensive glass, but George Karl says not a good defensive rebounding team.
Now, the rebound differential for them is a -7 per ball game. They're better here at home than they have been on the road, but it's still an issue for them. The Sonics have a big advantage there. As we know, the Sonics have not been a particularly good rebounding club themselves, so that would be a good time for them to start building a pad.
Rebound and run. The keys tonight to extend that streak to 9, huh?
Yeah, it always is for the Sonics. If they can get the quick defensive rebound, quick outlet pass, they'll have success against this club tonight.
It's simple, right? We'll be back with a tip in a moment here on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. Welcome back to Arco Arena, Sacramento, California. Kevin Calabro with Wally Walker. The lights have grown dim and the spotlights begin to flicker here at Arco Arena. They've had cause for celebration here early in the season. They're off to the 4-0 start with wins over Denver, the Los Angeles Lakers, San Antonio Spurs, and Sunday night against the Chicago Bulls. Time now to take a look at the Subaru starting lineups, brought to you by Subaru. Now the acknowledged leader in all-wheel drive technology. Wally, the matchup's interesting with Gary Payton anticipated in the matchup with Hurley. McMillan will play Mitch Richmond. Perkins and Tisdale square off in the middle. It'll be Shawn Kemp up against Walt Williams, second-year player out of Maryland in only his second start this year, and Detlef Schrempf opposite Lionel Simmons. We mentioned the fact that the Kings at home play pretty good defense, average 98 points per ball game. Their opposition does here at home. They shoot 50% at home and thus score about 105 a ball game, fourth in the NBA in scoring. The Sonics third in the NBA in scoring, number one in field goal percentage at 52%. If Seattle weren't such a good defensive team, I'd say we're going to see a lot of up and down and a very high scoring game.
Well, it appears as if Gary St. Jean has just decided he's going to put his best offensive club on the floor and try to outscore the Sonics club tonight. They're going to be small. They have rebounding problems, yet they're going to go smaller and just try to outscore them.
Sacramento Kings moved to Sacramento in '85 for, well, since '72. They were known as the Kings. Before that, they were the Cincinnati Royals. And let's take you back in time. 1963-64 season. The man on the left is Jerry Lucas, who earned NBA Rookie of the Year honors, second-team All-NBA selectee, averaged 17 points, 17 rebounds as a rookie. The man on his right, Oscar Robertson, earned league MVP honors after averaging a career-high 31 points per ball game to rank second in the league, scoring behind Wilt Chamberlain. The Big O also averaged nearly 10 rebounds and a league-leading 11 assists per contest. Do you know what, Wally? They could never advance because they met the Boston Celtics every year, or Wilt's Philadelphia Warrior basketball team was beating them as well. But Oscar Robertson, his rookie year, averaged just shy of 0.3 of a percentage point, a triple-double. His rookie year and was first-team All-NBA.
And, of course, further into his career, he did average a triple-double for the season.
George Karl, who has stellar records with the Sonic Ball Club, 90-42 with the SuperSonics, ably assisted by Bobby Kloppenberg, Tim Gergerich, Frank Furtado, the trainer, alongside with the SuperSonics. As always, George is nervous before a game. He's 8-0. Here's Gary St. Jean. He's a little loose. 4-5 now. 4-0 here at home. He's done an outstanding job, really, with the Sacramento Ball Club, and they're trying to solidify their franchise. Bill Oakes, Bill Spooner, Sean Corbin, our officials. The tap directed in the backcourt, and the Sonics will take over with Gary Payton working high on the left with Bobby Hurley on it. He'll flip it over to Detlef Schrempf. Looks inside. Nice lob across the lane. Comes inside to Perkins. He'll leap to get it. Lands on the in-line. Double teamed outside to Nate. Fires a bomb and ripped it. He was standing on the line. Otherwise, a three-pointer for Nate McMillan.
Nate is really stepping into his shot better this year than he did a year ago. He's always moving forward, has good momentum, and has a very smooth stroke going.
Walt Williams, second-year pro out of Maryland, guns it low post left side to Tisdale, covered by Perkins. Back to Walt, bluffs the three. Kemp on him. He'll skip it low to Tisdale, turn around, flip to the left hand, glances off glass, Schrempf up for the rebound, tapped away by Richmond. That's how powerful he is, but he missed the putback shot over Kemp. Rebound comes to Gary Payton. Sidewinds across midcourt, has a surly look on his face, feeds outside to Kemp. Kemp over to Schrempf, high on the left. Kemp with the pick, Schrempf driving off of it, tried to return the skip pass into Kemp, but he was tripped up, and Detlef able to bat it out of bounds. It'll be Sacramento basketball.
Sonics need to be very patient offensively and take advantage of their size. Advantage inside, pounded in there, particularly to Shawn Kemp.
Bobby Hurley with it, centers it on top to Tisdale, trailing. Over to Richmond on the wing. They center it in the key to Simmons, gets off a good look at a 15-footer and drilled it. Lionel Simmons has tied the score at 2 apiece. Nate McMillan will bring it down for the Sonics. Here in this first period of play, he's doubled a bit outside. Will swing it to Kemp high on the left. Shoots across court pass over to Gary. Now to Dead. Good up fake. Drives by Williams. Switches right to left hand. And lays one up and in off the front lip and crawled in over Lionel Simmons. Nice play by Dead.
Nice play, but Walt Williams is one of the worst defensive players in the league.
4-2 the count. And here's Tisdale outside with it. So we'll see more of Schrempf posting on Williams. Here's Williams down low. Reverse pivot, double team, shoots a nice pass across to Tisdale. He'll lay it up and in. Walt Williams is one of the better passers you're going to see for a big man. 4-4 the count.
He's a gifted player, can do it all offensively. He just doesn't try that hard at the defensive end.
10 minutes to go on the first. Oh, McMillan makes a great pass. Posted up low was Payton. He popped out wide open, swiveled to the rack, laid it in, and the Sonics lead at 6-4. Great pass from Nate McMillan.
And Gary's been moving exceptionally well without the basketball.
Early in low to Tisdale, waiting for Simmons to slash to the lane. Didn't. Gary picks off an easy one on the break. Skips it over to Schrempf to the glass. glass, continues to the glass, finishes and is fouled. And it will send Detlef to the line. Tremendous skip pass by Gary. Put it right up on the numbers to Det.
Gary's judgment, his decision-making in the middle of the break has been very good all year. Of course, he makes the steal to start the break, sees Det, although doesn't look at him, keeps the defense frozen, and hits him with a perfect pass and a finish.
Foul on Bobby Hurley is first, and here comes Detlef to the line. Shrimp shooting 55% from the field, 14th overall in the NBA. The Sonics are #1 in field goal percentage at 52%. They're also #1 at forcing turnovers to the opposition. Here comes Hurley across midcourt. Full head of steam. Over to Simmons. Steps up, leans into a 10-footer, pops out of there. Kemp muscles the rebound with Simmons on his back. Shoots the outlet pass midcourt to Gary. Hard chest pass to Perkins, trailing for the three. It's up and just off the heel of the iron. Long rebound tapped away by Kemp. Deflected off Tisdale. Grabbed off Simmons. Grabbed by Tisdale up to Hurley. 9-4 the count. Sonics lead early. Off to a good start with 9:24 left in the first. Here's Hurley outside on a two-man play. Lobs it over to Payton. Trying to guard the post. It's Williams leaning in with a 5-footer. Left it short. Air ball grabbed by Detlef. Sends it ahead to Gary. Shoots it through traffic to Perkins. A very aggressive pass. Perkins puts the dribble down off Richmond. It rolls out of bounds, and the Sonics will take it.
Not as good a decision that time by Gary because Mitch Richmond was standing right in front of Sam Perkins when Gary threw that pass. Sam, even if he would have caught it, would have had no place to go.
9:10 left in the first, and the Sonics out early to a 9-4 count. They'll bring it in with 18 on the shot clock to Kemp. Working on Williams. Hard chest pass out on top to Perkins. Send it high post, or I should say high on the point. Left side to McMillan again. It's Gary posting with a drop step spin by Hurley. Lays it up and in. They're posting Hurley early for a couple of baskets.
And it was set up well because the Sonics passed the ball from side to side. The Kings couldn't set their defense, enabled Gary to get to the basket before the double team could arrive.
And Gary St. Jean and company calling a timeout over there with Mike Schuler alongside Eddie Jordan and Mike Bratz. Here's assistant coaches. The Sonics on a 9-0 run, Wally. Take the 11-4 lead, and again off to the good start. They led by 10 at the end of one at Golden State Saturday, and they dusted the Warriors from that point on.
They're doing it the same way they did it against the Warriors Saturday night, with excellent ball movement early, particularly with Gary Payton moving without the basketball, getting inside for layups.
Sonics early have hit 5 out of 6 from the field and have been active on the glass as well. Gary Payton's mother and some friends up from the Bay Area here tonight in Sacramento, California. Gary, 57% from the field, #8 in the NBA in field goal percentage, but he is the top guard in terms of field goal percentage. Kings bringing in bounds, and Hurley dribble drive into the lane, tried to snake a scoop shot over McMillan, won't go. Rolls off the back edge. Grabbed by Shrimp, sends it ahead of McMillan, trailing is Payton. Sets up left side, covered by Tisdale wisely, swings it outside to Nate McMillan. Nate with the ball, have it ahead to Gary, drop it low, working on the low block. It's Kemp, powers in, double team to Shrimp, great pass, an angle pass beneath the lid. Perkins will snatch it and lay it in with the left hand.
Sensational ball movement once again, ended up with an easy deuce for Big Sam.
9-point Sonic lead. Boy, I love to watch basketball like that. Great movement of the basketball. Tremendous passing. Williams the other way, drives into the lane, double team. Skip pass intercepted by McMillan, knocked down, grabbed by Detlef. He'll center it to Gary across midcourt, lobs it ahead to Perkins, outside of McMillan, floating for a 20-footer off the front rim. Shrimp keeps it alive, but he leaps into Richmond for the loose ball foul.
You can see Detlef isn't happy about the call, and he's unhappy because he got clubbed on a defensive rebound early in the game, and Mitch Richmond took the ball away from him. Right here, you're going to see more good ball movement side to side. Nate gets a good look at it, just misses it. Detlef comes from outside. Well, that may be a foul, but a good no call would have been appropriate there as well. It's still Kings ball.
9-point lead. The Kings want to isolate Richmond outside of McMillan. They can't. He's doubled by Payton. Nelson. To Williams. In he comes for a high-flying two-handed jam. Walt Williams gets the deuce, set up by Hurley beautifully. 13-6, 7.5 minutes to go. First period play. Gary Payton now will bring it the other way. Hooks it low to Perkins. Spin move. Fall away Jay. In and out. Kemp taps it up and in. He was coming down when he was able to just flick it in with the forefinger, and it crawled up and in. The Sonics lead at 15-6.
Shaw's development as an outstanding power forward starts right there at the rebounding.
Williams drives baseline left on Kemp. Ball comes free. McMillan grabs it. He'll break the other way. Sends it to Det. Bluffs the three. Dribble drive with the left hand to the inline. Hacked by Simmons and fouled. Detlef wants a shooting foul. I don't think Bill Oakes will give it to him. Non-shooting foul, and the Kings, well, not yet at the limit.
It's apparent early on. Right now we're going to see the Kings on offense and more good defense by the Sonics. Nate almost always around that basketball when it's on the floor, and that of course keys the Sonic fast break once more. Nate always has his head up, Detlef, you can just see putting the ball on the floor. Gets a reach in, and it looks like the Sonics can do just about anything they want against this Kings defense.
They have Hurley. They lead by 9, and a timeout called on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. Subaru, now the acknowledged leader in all-wheel drive technology. Seattle shooting well early, 7 for 10 on the enemy's home court. 3 of 8 are the Kings. The Sonics, as a result, lead by 9, 15-6. Kevin Calabro and Wally Walker in Sacramento. The Sonics 8-0. McMillan lobs it low. Double clutch power move left side by Perkins. Off the mark, grabbed by Kemp. His putback shot is short. Chased down to the baseline by Simmons. And here comes Richmond out of backcourt with it. Skips it over to Hurley. Leans into a 15-footer. A flat shot rolls off. Hurley really struggling with a jumper. 27% field goal average over the last 7 ball games for Bobby, averaging 7 points, 7 assists. Ball glances off Sonic hands out of bounds. It'll be King ball. Hurley with a fresh 24 on the shot clock, the trigger man. Gets it low to Williams. Backs in, double team, skipping across the lane to Simmons. He tries to dribble the air out of the ball. It's jabbed away, and last touch by Simmons. And the Sonics will take it. Too much dribbling out there right now for Sacramento.
Well, particularly too much dribbling when number 10 in the green uniform is around, because he's going to get his hand on that basketball.
And as much as the Sonics love to double team, you cannot try to spin move. You cannot turn your back. Here's McMillan with a lob down low to Kemp. Glanced off his shoulder, caught Simmons and rolled out of bounds. Well, that's the way I saw it. Bill Oakes didn't. They'll give it to the Kings. Off Shawn Kemp and out of bounds. He was going airborne, and Nate threw it down around chest level.
I think someone tipped it also. It changed the direction of the ball. It came off his shoulder.
9-point lead now for the Sonics. 6:25 left in the first. Hurley will swing it outside with it. Simmons. Hook pass over to Richmond. He's been quiet. One up, rattles in and out. Shrimp up to the rebound, deflects it off glass. Williams can't handle it as he goes to the floor. Grabbed by Tisdale, hooks it outside of Richmond. Sidewinds the dribble into the lane. Squeezed between 2 defenders. He's able to coax in a 10-footer on the run, and Mitch Richmond scores his first points of the ball game. It's a 15-8 count for Seattle with 6 minutes remaining early.
Good defense by the Sonics. It's a very difficult shot.
Again, posted low is Kemp. With the entry pass denied by Williams. Jabs it free to Hurley. He'll lead the break to Williams into the lane. Scoops the high one up on the run. Foul called by the rookie official Sean Corbin. On the push, Nate McMillan picks up his first. And that will send Walt Williams to the line.
Bobby Hurley demonstrating he really is very good in the middle of the fast break. As you pointed out, Kevin, he doesn't shoot the ball very well, just 32%. He's not comfortable shooting it. Right here, Gary trying to make a quick entry pass. Williams just reaches around. Shawn doesn't really come to meet that pass. And Hurley in the middle of the break, head up, just like we pointed out about Nate. And not much space to get that pass through. An excellent delivery by the rookie.
Like the way Walt Williams created the turnover and then ran the floor, filled the lane, and comes away with 1 point as he hits the second free throw. 15-9 the score. 5:49 to go in the first period. Gary Payton across midcourt, dogged by Hurley. Slips it to Nate McMillan. Mack with it, back to Gary, mid-post right side. Shawn backs, turns, swings a beautiful pass to Perkins, up in the reverse. Might have been deflected off glass and out of bounds. I think Simmons had a piece of that ball off Perkins' hands. It's deflected up and out of bounds. They'll recheck the clock at 24 for the Seattle possession.
Shawn taking advantage of Walt Williams inside till he draws the double and triple team, finds Sam. Sonic ball.
He just short-armed that. I thought it had been blocked, but he short-armed it, and it kicked off the bottom of the rim. McMillan now on the inbounds, posted to Gary. Gary's shot is off the mark. Shawn Kemp comes flying over Lionel Simmons for the loose ball foul. It is the first on Shawn tonight.
Sweet looking pass and shot. Gary almost gets it to go, and Shawn can't resist using those great legs to go up and over. Simmons had inside position. Shawn needs to try to get beside him so he avoids those kind of up and over fouls.
15-9 the score. 5:25 left in the first period. Bobby Hurley roams around outside between the rings with a left-hand dribble. Richmond trying to fight to get open. Does in the corner from Williams. He'll raise for 3. No go. Weak side rebound deflected by Perkins. Out of bounds before Simmons could save it. The Sacramento Kings will get it back with 5:14 showing. The Kings have been guilty of early turnovers. 5. The Sonics have scored off those turnovers. Here's Hurley to Williams. Open beneath the lid. Kemp comes up, blocks the shot. Williams got it back. Forced to change his shot by Kemp. Ball poked free. Great hustling play by Kemp. Knocks down Simmons. On the break, the Sonics convert with Gary Payton bringing it ahead on a lovely reverse. Crowd is irate.
As is Gary St. Jean, but that's a great defensive effort by Shawn Kemp. He was the last line of defense, prevented 2 layup attempts.
Richmond swings it over to Simmons. Down low, Walt Williams picked up on the switch. Shrimp on it. They want to isolate Williams on Shrimp. Backs him down, slings it outside to Simmons. Back to Williams, right block, double team, turns, wheels the fallaway J up, no. Kemp comes down with a rebound. Sonics bring it ahead. Gary will scoop it ahead to Nate McMillan. Long strides to the three-point perimeter. Now to Shawn trailing, left-hand side, checked by Williams, hand off to Gary. Gary looking to pump it low, does to Shawn, looking over the left shoulder. Deadlift clears to the baseline. Kemp spins to the glass and powers to the rack. Lays it off the blocks and up and in.
The Kings must double team and help Walt Williams on Shawn Kemp, or it's just going to be layup city.
19-9, Sonics by 10, their largest lead. Drop step spin with a dribble to the glass. Simmons powers into Perkins and Death, and a foul called on the Sonics. Sends Simmons to the line from his reaction. I think Shrimp gets his second. He does.
Well, the rookie official, Sean Corbin, not afraid to blow his whistle here. The first time we've seen him. Lionel Simmons just forced his way in. Debt trying to go straight up, but the call goes Simmons' way.
Here comes the L train, 6'7" and 210. Right on time, chugging down the tracks. Got his little engineer's cap on and a shovel. He's going to throw some coal in the tender box there. Here comes a guy that's worked on the railroad. Here comes Mike Poplawski. You kidding?
He may be the caboose.
He's the guy that drove that spike to connect the east to the west. You kidding? There's Mike Poplawski, 6'10" and 270. They used to put rails on Mike. I mean, he carried him to the trailhead. Here's Simmons. He hits the free throw. I'm going to start singing Casey Jones here in a moment. We're in Grateful Dead territory down here. 19-10 the count.
I don't know if the Dead would claim Sacramento.
4:02 left in the first. Here's Kemp leading in, hands to Gary. Oh, a great give and go. Missed the lane, but followed it up and in with a hustling tap. Gary with 8 first quarter points. He's been outstanding. He's hit 4 out of 5. 21-11. Make that 21-10. Sonics by 11. Poplawski over to Richmond. Drives the in line. Kept trying to shut him off. Didn't beat him to the baseline. He bumped him down there, and the foul on the Rain Man is his second.
Shawn hustling like crazy at both ends, but this is the foul he must avoid picking up. Now he has 2. Now he has to be cautious for the rest of this half.
Mitch Richmond stands at the line. Had a great year last year, as Wally mentioned at the top. He was an all-star selection, but broke the thumb, didn't play in the all-star game, missed the second half, came back and was the leading scorer in the NBA in preseason. I think he had like a plus 40-point game in one of those preseason contests.
44 against Boston.
Just an awesome performance.
Hitting bombs from everywhere.
It's the first, second free throw, up and in. He's number 9 in the league in scoring at 23 a game, but he's obviously going to draw a lot of attention tonight by the Sonics, who lead it 21-12. 3.5 minutes to go. Gary trying to set up a pick and roll outside. Everybody else off the ball on the weak side. McMillan, Cage, and Pierce all stacked off the ball, and illegal defense whistled against the Kings.
Yeah, the rookie Mike Poplawski was back in his college habits trying to help out in the weak side, but that's a no-no in the NBA to plant yourself in the lane.
Supes bringing in bounds. Here's Gary double team. Hook pass over to Shawn. Got a running start and powers it down on Poplawski, who stands his ground and draws the charge. It's the third on Kemp. The Rain Man took off. He was airborne, and we'll see if Poplawski was set and vertical. And he was. He did a nice job. That's a charge all the way in my book, Wally.
That's a good call. Still a sensational play.
Sure is.
A chance
but the third foul on Shawn.
Yeah.
Vincent Askew will check in, averaging 17 minutes a game. Ricky Pierce is in as well. They'll double in backcourt. Mitch Richmond gets rid of it to Simmons. Great pass to Poplawski. Steps into an angle shot from 5. Missed it. Tisdale's there to clean it up, but he can't lay it in. It popcorns out of there. Grabbed by Cage. Sends it ahead to Gary. Darts by Randy Brown. Drives into the lane. Jump pass to Askew. Drives the baseline. Shut up by Poplawski. Outside to Ricky. Sets his feet. Squares. Fires. And tortures a baseline jumper. What a beauty. Ricky Pierce.
That was smooth, wasn't it?
Oh, man. He was behind the glass when he let it go with the right hand. 23-12 the count. Sonics lead it. Richmond shovel pass from Tisdale. Powers to the rack. Lays it in. Richmond was 6. And now the scoring picks up. Tempo a little bit here. Sonics leading 23-14.
Well, Sonic defense right now yielding too many layup attempts by the Kings. The Kings have helped them out by missing some, but the Sonics need to tighten up inside.
Outside, Ricky off a stack of Cage and Askew. Misses the 17-footer. Glances off glass. Brown wins the tip match with McMillan. Sends it ahead. A diagonal pass left-hand side to Simmons. Slinks to the glass. He managed to lay a right-hander up in traffic there, but an offensive foul is whistled against the Kings. And this one's going to be on Wayman Tisdale, apparently trying to set up for the rebound. Tisdale picks up the foul, and a timeout's been called on the floor with 2:24 left in the first to score. Sonics 23, Kings 14 on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. Best selections of Sonics and NBA merchandise. Stop by the Sports Forum at all Puget Sound area Bon Marché locations. The Sports Forum at the Bon Marché, your official Sonics team shop. 23-14 is our score. 2:24 left in the first period. The Kings 5 of 19, 26% under the Sonic pressure defense. Seattle 11 of 20, 55%. The Sonics right now on the glass at 10-8. Gary Payton is at 4 of 6, leading the Sonics with 8 points. Seattle will set it up. Vincent Askew with the ball out high right side. 17-footer all alone. He drilled it. The defense left him, and Vince drilled it against his former employers, the Sacramento Kings. The Sonics picked him up last year for a song, a second-round pick that the Kings used to get Mike Poplawski. And Poplawski's out there right now. He wants the ball. Look at him. He's coming left side of the lane, but Tisdale swings it over to Randy Brown. Sways left, moves right, hands to Tiz. 15-footer, the big left-hander out of Oklahoma drilled it. Tisdale with 4, 25-16 the count. Here's a cross-court pass. Pierce over to Payton, sets up left side. Pulls the string on a 16-footer. Richmond clears the rebound. Randy Brown out of New Mexico State swings it the other way. Randy Brown stutter step dribble, drives by Gary, tried to scoop it off to Poplawski, broken up by McMillan, out of bounds. It'll be Sacramento ball, 16 on the shot clock, and Perkins coming back for the big green.
Been a very small club on the floor for the Sonics, so Georgia likes to go to a little more size and give Nate his first rest of the night.
Lionel Simmons to bring it in bounds. The L train with Poplawski, Richmond, Tisdale, and Randy Brown on the deck. He'll give it to Richmond in the corner. Covered by Gary Payton in front of his own bench. Richmond sees the double team, swings it to Brown. Over to Simmons. Jab steps left, goes right, slinks in on a double team, and racks up Vincent Askew. Knocked him down like a bowling pin. Simmons picks up the foul.
The L train loves to lower their shoulder, and he draws a lot of fouls by doing it. He's gotten away with a couple prior, but Vincent does a nice job of holding his ground, and that's a good call.
Sonics led by as many as 11. Their lead is 9 as Gary St. Jean now will send in Walt Williams once again. He started tonight in his second game since coming back from the stress fracture of the fibula. And Randy Brewer will come in. So Simmons and Poplawski check out. Brewer, the veteran, 7'3", 260 out of Minnesota, now in his 11th season. He'll check Michael Cage. The Sonics set it up outside. Gary Payton jump passes over to Askew left side, trying to break down Williams one-on-one. Can't. Swings it into the lane out to Perkins. Inside out play for a 3-ball attempt from Sam I.M. He missed it. He's only shooting 62% from 3-point range. Rebound to Richmond. Kings will set it up. Here's Randy Brown with it. Looking for Richmond. Posted. Double team. Fakes the pass. Nearly knocked down. No whistle. Pierce on Richmond. Wearing number 2. Swing it to Tisdale. Faces up on Perkins. Drives him left baseline. Leans back and is fouled. He'll have to earn him at the line, though, as the shot is off the mark.
I think Wayman surprised Sam because he put the ball down with his right hand, going to the baseline with a quick move. You can see Sam overplaying the left hand, which is the right thing to do with big Wayman. Wayman shook him that way and then took it back to the baseline with a nice, strong baseline drive.
Glad you're with us on the simulcast. We've got more of this coming for you. Friday from Minnesota when the Sonics take on the Timberwolves. Saturday, they travel to take on the Cleveland Cavaliers. They just activated Terrell Brandon. That was one of the problems Cleveland had early in Seattle, the fact that Price went to the bench. They didn't have anybody who could handle the ball. The poor Gerald Madgens got out there. Played in the CBA last year. He said they didn't play defense like it was a CBA, I guarantee you. And the Sonics gobbled up some early Cleveland turnovers. So the Cavs without Larry Nance, but with Terrell Brandon back.
You know, I think Terrell Brandon and Mark Price are going to play some minutes together this year.
I think so. Great combination. Cross-court pass from Gary Payton to Vincent Askew, broken up by the Kings. Seattle will take it back. Leading it here 25-16 with 38 seconds remaining in the first period. Gary Payton wants to set the floor. Does emphatically. Clearing Askew out of the paint, giving it low to Perkins. Double team. Outside to Askew. Good ball moving over to Ricky. Sidesteps Pierce. Double teamed out to Vince. Used up too much time. Ricky probably should have pulled up and taken the baseline jumper once he got by Brewer. But good ball movement.
Yeah, good ball movement. Kings did a nice job of helping rotating their defense. And, of course, in hindsight, with the clock winding down, Ricky should have taken the shot. But the Kings had a big man, Randy Brewer, right in front of him. 26 seconds remaining in the first period. Sonics by 9. Richmond flings it across to Randy Brown, high on the left side. Randy Brown working one-on-one at Gary as the Kings spread the floor with 10 on the shot clock. And a whistle.
Oh, goodness. That's one you absolutely don't want to get. You're out there on the floor in front of the official, nobody around, naked as a jaybird, and you reach in and poke the guy. The first foul on Gary Payton. Sonic bench a little incensed at Bell Oaks.
There was contact, not much contact. George Karl feeling that Bill Oaks could have easily just ignored that one.
Yeah, in this league, no autopsy, no foul. It's kind of my worldview of the whole thing, Wally.
Well,
I know you share that view.
I do. Like most things that you say. And we can talk about Frank Layden later.
Yeah, we can. Brown hits the free throw. And the lead is 8 for the Sonics with 11 and 7/10 seconds remaining in the first period. Ricky Pierce, Detlef Schrempf, Perkins, Payton, and Askew on the floor. Sonic foul trouble. Kemp with 3, Schrempf with 2. Gary just a moment ago picked up his first. Here's Randy Brown, bends at the knees, deep breath, pops it up off the mark. Perkins with a rebound. 10 seconds as Gary hands off to Vince on the backcourt. He clears midcourt with 7. With 6, starts to dribble. They open it up. He drives, he kicks. Pierce, 10-footer left side, got it with 2 seconds remaining in the first period. Textbook play by Payton, Askew, and the finishing touch by the veteran Pierce. And Williams will toss it from midcourt up and off the market. Would have counted had it gone. But at the end of 1, the Sonics hold a 10-point lead. 27-17 and have taken the air out of the party balloons here in Sacramento on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. Is our score at the end of the first stanza here at the Arco Arena in Sacramento, California. I'm Kevin Calabro with Wally Walker, your humble servants. Time now to take a look at what's on tap by Miller Genuine Draft. There's nothing typical about it. The Minnesota Timberwolves and Christian Laettner with that very attractive headband awaiting the Sonics on Saturday, December the 4th. Call Ticketmaster at 628-0888. And Wally Walker will have more to say about Christian Laettner and the headband a little bit later on in our broadcast.
I detect some sarcasm in your voice.
Here's Walt Williams outside, stands astride the three-point perimeter. Not me. Here's Brown. It's all business. Here's Brown to Richmond. Nice dribble drive to the left hand. Switches to the right, powers to the rack, and lays it in. Good golly, is he strong.
He can carry guys to the rim, and once he gets there, he can get it up and in.
Richmond with 8, 3 of 6 for the ball game. A hard left-hand dribble, switch to the right hand, and powered it home. Here's McMillan. Down low to Ricky, posted. Turns on Randy Brown, and poked away by Brown. Grabbed by Richmond, up the floor to Brown, back to Richmond. Great drive. Richmond puts the cap on it with a boom-jarring right-handed jam. 27-21. I tell you, this Kings ball club statistically plays better when Randy Brown is in the lineup.
And Randy is limping right now. He's holding his ankle. He's a much better defensive guard than most of what they have, but he's hurt.
Perkins doubled, swings it over to Cage, drives in line left. There's Randy Brown again, along with Tisdale. Tiz is going to get tagged for the foul. His second, and Randy Brown now limping out to midcourt, checking the right ankle.
Definitely not comfortable as Randy Brown.
And they will go to get him. Actually, Plowski's coming in for Tisdale. Now Bobby Hurley's dispatched off the bench, and Brown goes limping over there to be attended by Billy Jones, long time, one of the great trainers in the league, Billy Jones. Anybody can fix Brown, it'll be Billy. Ooh, there's a turn of the ankle.
That baby rolled right under.
Good work by camera crew here in Sacramento. Here's Askew with a shot, missed it. Rebound followed by Cage, and another loose ball foul whistled on the Kings. This one will be on Mitch Richmond. Richmond with his first.
Well, we've talked about rebounding being a key in this ball game. And of course, Michael Cage doing what he does best, get on the weak side of the offensive glass, keeping that ball alive.
Sonics outboarded the Kings 12-10 in the first period, but shot very well. Seattle 13 of 24, 54% of the first period. The Kings 6 of 21, 29%. Cage and Pierce, two-man play. Pierce to the end line, 17-footer no. Rebound grab by Cage on our simulcast.
Nice job by Michael Cage.
Good hustling play. To Askew for a 3. No. Off the heel of the arm. Rebound patted outside. Askew retreats to get it. McMillan slants in front of him. He'll take his own control, and there's a big collision down low as Ricky Pierce goes stumbling to the floor with Mitch Richmond. They got tangled up inside, and a foul is called on Richmond.
Two big, strong, tough off guards. Ricky moving without the basketball really is involved in his game after checking in. Just makes a cut through the lane. Richmond tries to take away the cut. Ricky leads with his off arm. You can see a little bit in the upper left-hand corner of your screen.
McMillan now with it. Down low to Ricky. They want to post and go right at Richmond. He turns. He uncorks about a 2-footer, but he had Richmond on him. Missed the shot. Chilcutt with the rebound. The outlet pass intercepted by McMillan. Back down low to Ricky. Sidewinds on Chilcutt. Double team. Trying to sneak a pass between traffic to Michael Cage. Couldn't, and Williams will bring it the other way. Over to Chilcutt. Into the lane. Lost the handle. Picked it up. Leans back. Lays it home. Chilcutt with a deuce. Kings coming back within 4 after trailing by 11 early. 27-23. 9:48 left. Second period. Shrimp fakes right, moves left, draws a double team outside of McMillan. Nate to Askew. Over to Michael. Michael works right by Poplawski. Powers to the rack. Lays it in with the left hand. Caught a finger in the face and a foul. He will go to the line.
Strong drive by Michael Cage. Just like Tisdale surprised by going right, so does Michael Cage. Fakes left. Poplawski has seen the scouting report, even if he hasn't seen Michael close up. Don't let Michael go left. He jumps that way. Michael goes right for an easy one, although he takes a hard one in the face.
Lost a contact lens as Frank Furtado attends to him there. And the Sonics lead it 29-23. The Taco Time has teamed with the Sonics to bring you collectible Sonic cards. Beginning on Wednesday of each week through January, your local Taco Time restaurant features a different player. This week it's Ricky Pierce. Get in early and collect the whole set. Take a Taco Time out and treat yourself to the very best. Anytime is Taco Time. Well, it's a 29-23 count. 9:37 to go here in the second period of play. The Sacramento Kings on a 6-2 run here. Had pulled it within 4 a moment ago. 86 all in Utah. The Houston Rockets and the Utah Jazz go into overtime at 86 in Utah. Here's Michael to the line for the three-point play. Missed it. Poplawski grabs the rebound. Bobby Hurley, Mike Poplawski. A couple of rookies right now for Gary C.G. on the floor. Hurley looking at a double team. The big man, Michael Cage, chasing Hurley with Nate McMillan. They double him. He gets rid of it. Slings it over to Walt Williams. He's doubled outside. Askew and Shrimp. They go to Chilcutt. Nice ball movement to Poplawski. Takes it up. Blocked by McMillan. Ball tapped right into McMillan as he went off balance, stumbling into the front row of photographers. He gets off balance there and falls into the fans. He's all right. And Sacramento will take over with 5 on the shot clock.
It's like scrambling defensively. Nate McMillan is a great defensive player. Last line of defense forces that missed layup by the 6'11" rookie.
29-23, 2 seconds on the shot clock. Hurley gets up into the air, lost a handle on the basketball, and time runs out. A King turnover. The Sonics take it back. 7th turnover of the night on the Sacramento Kings. And let's see if the Sonics can convert. They only had 3 points off of 5 King turnovers in the first quarter. Here's McMillan backpedaling near edge. Shrimp coming out to screen. They work the pick and roll. Shrimp will get it. Williams rotates to Shrimp. Posted low. Circles up with a hook from 8 feet. Rolls off. Rebound deflected by Simmons. Grabbed by Hurley. Bobby will bring it across. Works outside the three-point perimeter. Swings it to the trailer Poplawski to Williams. Poplawski continues to run to the hole. Gets a return pass and blew the lay-in. Air ball. Grabbed by Pierce. Up to McMillan. 3-on-1 to Detlef to the glass. He'll lay it up and in. Detlef Shrimp with 7 points. 31-23 the score, and 8-point Sonic lead. Hurley the other way, dribbles deep, kicks it over to Poplawski off his fingertips and out of bounds, but they got lucky that time. It caught, I think, Vincent Askew and rolled out. Sacramento will get it back.
Poplawski actually has good hands for a big man. He's able to catch the ball, just having trouble converting as he goes to finish with the layup attempts.
On the inbounds, a foul called on Vincent Askew. The first on Vincent Askew. This one on the inbounds pass is the Sonics' first team foul, but because it's a dead ball foul, Pete Chilcutt will go to the line. 31-23 the score. It's an 8-point lead for the Sonics. 8.5 minutes remaining here in the second period. Pete to the line, drills the free throw. Chilcutt, of course, in his 3rd year from North Carolina, 6'10" and 232. He's only had 1 turnover in the last 5 games. That covers 87 minutes of ball. Misses the free throw. Rebound grab by Michael Cage. 7 points, Sonic lead. 8:27 to go, second period. Nate McMillan high on the left side, covered by Hurley. Looking low for Shrimp on the post-up. He was coming off an Askew screen, and Bill Oakes detects a little mayhem inside. Chilcutt picks up the foul. His first team foul number. Well, the Kings over the limit. Or are they?
At the limit, yes.
So it's Shrimp to the line. Crowd a little subdued. 334th consecutive set out here at Arco Arena. 17,000 plus on hand.
They really do play hard here to the Sacramento Kings. They battle and bang and hustle, and that time Pete Chilcutt trying to get through a screen, just bumping Detlef a little too hard right in front of Bill Oakes.
Detlef to the line. The first one is up. The second one feathers it home. Detlef Schrempf leads the Sonics in scoring with 9. Gary Payton played 12 minutes in the first period. He's on the bench getting a rest right now as Hurley blows down the left side. Double team to Popowski. Center it to Chilcutt. He mows over a man, and an offensive foul is called as Vincent Askew stands his ground, takes the charge, and Popowski now checking out for the Kings. Seattle taking over the leather. Good play inside by Vince.
Vincent has taken 2 charges already in this ball game. That's a tough one there. You have a big player bearing right down on you. You know you're going to take the blow, and he stands in and sacrifices the body.
9-point Sonic lead, 33-24 after the Kings got within 4 on that run of theirs. Here's Askew down low to Schrempf. Schrempf backing in double team. Hand to Ricky. Drives left side. Pull up. Pop. Get in there. Good if it goes. He's fouled. It rolls off. Ricky Pierce will head to the free throw line. High fives from Schrempf and Pierce. And a collection there at the free throw line between the 3 to talk over strategy.
Sonics just run a little cross screen. Get Detlef down low. As he gets double teamed, he kicks it right out to Ricky. Ricky on the move. Very, very difficult to stop as he's moving towards that baseline.
Ricky Pierce to the line. Ricky will get 2, and he snags the first. Pierce, a great free throw shooter. We don't have to tell you that. 96% from the field this year, #1 in the NBA. Second active lifetime free throw percentage, Ricky Pierce. Only 2. Mark Price at Cleveland. Chilcutt will come out with a couple of fouls by my reckoning. Wayman Tisdale is in with Walt Williams, Bobby Hurley, and who else is out there? Lionel Simmons. Here's Pierce to the line. Drops the second. Ricky with 6. The Green Party with Pierce, McMillan, Cage, Schrempf, and now Gary Payton returns to action. The Sonics lead by 11, equaling their largest lead held back in the first period. Hurley with 15 on the shot clock starts the offense high on the right. Cross-court pass to Richmond, sets up, long bomb, three-pointer, well off the mark. Gary directs it outside on the tip to Schrempf. He's got wingmen on his left and right over to McMillan, drives the baseline, lays it up, a doozy off the front rip. It came off. All Nate can do is smile as the Kings bring it the other way. Hurley to Simmons, he'll finish it up and in. Simmons with 5. Nate coming in straight down the baseline at the rim, tried to finger roll it up. Now he's going to try to make amends as he drives into the lane. Swings it outside to Cage, passes over to Pierce, sets his feet, and drops in a beautiful jump shot. Ricky with 8 for the ball game. The Sonics lead it 37-26.
Ricky called for the basketball there. Michael Cage, recognizing Ricky's the better shooter, kicked it over for a short 2.
7:10 left in the first half. Pick and roll. Tisdale in the lane. 15-footer won't go. Loose ball foul whistled on the Kings. And Wayman Tisdale is the guilty party, and he knew it. He has picked up his 3rd foul.
Well, Wayman looks perplexed. I'm not sure why. He's frustrated after leaving this jump shot short. Just runs in there and you can see him clangs into 2 Sonics. Then he complains about it. I've been impressed with the rookie official, Sean Corbin here.
Yes.
His command of the game has been good.
Michael Cage steps to the line where the Sonics have hit 5 of 6 as a team. Sacramento Kings is 6 of 12. The Kings not helping themselves at home from the line. You've got to hit free throws when they send you to the line at home. Michael Cage has hit a few. He's up to 66% after struggling through that nightmarish season last year in terms of his percentage from the free throw line. Won't even mention it. Tisdale checks out of the lineup. In comes Randy Brewer. Michael's second one up. Got it.
Remember, Michael hit those 2 big free throws in the game in Salt Lake City.
Yes, he did.
Late in the ball game.
Late in the contest. Good point. 13 points. Sonic lead. Their largest lead of the night. 6:57 left in the second period. The Sonics won 4 of 5 from the Kings last year. Just hammered them last year. Simmons to Williams. Broken up by McMillan. Keeps it alive to Ricky Pierce. Ricky up to midcourt. Gary Payton with it. Brings it across midcourt. Sets up Hurley with a little gesture of the body. Swings it out to Schrempf. Gets it low. Gary on the post up. Backs. Double team. Poked away. Saves it right to Schrempf. 13 on the shot clock. Plenty of time. Dead on the drive. Stripped of the ball. It comes to Richmond. Centers it to Hurley. Right up the gut. Into the lane. Broken up by McMillan. The exchange from Hurley to Williams. And out of bounds. The Kings will have possession. They call a timeout with 6.5 left in the first half. The score, Seattle 39, the Kings 26 on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. 6 is our score here in this second period of play from Arco Arena, Sacramento, California. And a look at our Farmers Fast Break, brought to you by Farmers Insurance. America depends on farmers and has for over 60 years.
Shawn Kemp doing the job defensively, gets the Sonic break going. This is Sonic basketball at its best. Quick outlet by Nate. Gary with the finish.
On the inbounds pass, the Kings can't handle it. Bobby Hurley apparently threw it in. It's very difficult to see the end line from here at midcourt. My guess is it came off Gary and hit Hurley out of bounds, and Seattle will take it on the King turnover. Oh my, 13-point Sonic lead. Shrimp high on the right. Again posted as Gary. Circles into the lane. Double teamed outside of Ricky. Baseline pop in the air. In and out. Rebound to Simmons. Lionel midcourt to Hurley. He's got Williams on his left hip. He'll swing over to Walt. Drives into the lane. Double clutches. One off glass and in. And then spills into the crowd. Ooh, that was nasty looking. He quickly regains balance and sprints the other way.
Gary St. Jean going nuts in front of his bench, thinking Walt Williams got a foul on that drive.
39-28 inside out play. Gary posted, swings it out to Dent for the three-point play. He missed the shot. Rebound to Randy Brewer. To Williams. Long pass to Hurley. Driving left side. Tried to feed off to Simmons. And a foul called on the pass off. This will be on Gary Payton. Second foul on Gary. He pushed Hurley as he went into the air to make the jump pass on the break. 39-28 the count. 11-point Sonic lead with 5:44 to go here in the second period.
Gary has applied the good pressure all night long. Bobby Hurley, with Spud Webb being out with injury, is going to have to play most of the game at point guard. Of course, Randy Brown was playing back up to Hurley. Went down with a bad ankle.
Simmons checked by Shrimp, has it high on the right, sends it over to Walt Williams, faces up, trying to fire a laser in there to a big man, Randy Brewer, but that ball's going to go off his hands and out of bounds. The Kings have self-destructed at home. 11 turnovers now for the ball game for the Kings. Sonics with 5 points off turnovers. They lead by 11. Here's Payton high on the right, over to mid block, left side. Shrimp turns, tried to back off on Brewer. Ball deflected, grabbed by Brewer. Up to Hurley, wants to run with the Sonics. Quick to the mark, throw the lane. Hurley with a nice job, sidesteps Payton after he pulled on the brakes. He quickly had a nice little step right by Payton for the easy basket. Hurley with his first deuce on the lane. Gary wants him to come back the other way and stop him. He'll drive into the lane, turns into Hurley, and is fouled by Bobby Hurley. Second on Hurley since Payton to the line for two.
The Kings have tried to help Bobby Hurley out with double teams for the most part. Gary just gets to the middle so quickly. Double team's not there. Hurley reaches in. Gary picks up a foul.
4:59 left in the first half and a 39-30 count. Gary Payton to the line. Gary tonight, as he misses the free throws, hit 4 of 7 from the field. He has 8 points, 4 rebounds, and an assist. Second one up, short arm that one. Hurley grabs the rebound. Sonics by 9, 4:55 to go in the second period of play. And the Kings just hoping to keep it under double digits by halftime. They've done a nice job to come back on several occasions. Simmons swings it to Richmond, drives right up into the lane, lays it up off the mark, hammered inside. Richmond will get 2 at the line on the foul to Perkins. If the Kings have been able to do one thing offensively tonight, Wally, that is they've been able to get to the basket. Now they've not finished, but they've always been able to get there.
Well, that's exactly right. The Sonics have done a pretty good job of defending those layup attempts without fouling. Mitch Richmond, however, one of the best in the league at using that big, strong body to get in and create the contact and draw the fouls on the defensive player.
Richmond has been absolutely red hot over the past 3 games, averaging 28 points and 51% shooting. In doing so, he has 11 points as he hits the free throw. But he has not been the leading scorer in every one of the 4 home victories here. 4-0. He's only been the leading scorer in 1 of those games. So pretty good distribution of the basketball by the Kings, who have 3 guys collectively when you put Simmons, Tisdale, and Richmond together, averaging 61 points per ball game, second in the NBA, only to the trio at Phoenix of Barkley, Johnson, and Green. Here's a pass to Shrimp, intercepted by Richmond, saves it, but right to McMillan, drives into the lane, and lays it in, and sends Williams down in a heap. Great drive by McMillan on a hustling Sonic play. Back comes Hurley. He'll try to force his way inside. Cage hoping to draw the charge, will get the block foul, and the Kings will go to the line to shoot the free throws.
Action-packed sequences there at either end. Mitch Richmond did a terrific job defensively for the Kings. He plays hard at both ends. Then trying to save the ball right to Nate. Nate with strong drive for a finish.
Actually, the Sonics now at the limit of 4, so it's a 9-shooting foul. The Kings bring it in, and here's Hurley wearing those trunks down around the knees. Look at those drawers. They're way down there.
Challenged by Walt Williams for the longest.
Here comes Hurley, blasting him with the left hand, double teamed over to Chilcutt. Open pop, short-armed it, rebound grab by Detlef. Outlet pass to Vinny. Fits it across midcourt, spots the trailer Payton, picked up, double teamed, out to Askew, down low, and tosses it to Perkins. Backs it on Brewer, double team to the cutter, Shrimp to the glass, can't finish, but drew the foul. He will go to the line. Detlef for 2.
Once again, sensational ball movement and player movement. The ball goes side to side. The defensive play by the Kings has to be moving. Sam identifying a double team. Detlef in the right place, making the right cut. Sam delivering the pass.
Schrempf will get a couple of free throws. Schrempf 3 for 3 at the line. Drops this one up and in. He is perfect. 10 points for Detlef. 78% are from the free throw line. He's plucked off 3 rebounds as well. Hurley will come out. In will come Randy Brown, who had that ailing ankle in that first quarter of play.
Still limping.
Schrempf.
Is Randy Brown as he walks in.
Tell you what, though, Billy Jones spit on that injury. He'll wrap a little gauze on it. Whisper a little mojo in the guy's ear, and he'll be ready to go. There's Randy Brown. He's a new man. Billy Jones, great trainer. Randy Brown in the corner, outside to Brewer. Brewer trying to drop it low. Ball deflected, picked up by Gary Payton. Ahead it comes to Askew. Has 3 steps on 7. Slides to the glass and nearly blew the land.
Yes, he did.
But he lays it up and in. 45-31 the count. It's a 14-point Sonic lead. 3:25 to go here in the second period. And the boos are for our trio of officials. Oaks, Spooner, and Corbin. You can't get a break when you're wearing the zebra stripes on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. By 14, 45-31 with 3:25 to go here in the second period. The Sonics leading here by 14, their largest lead of the ball game. They had the 10-point lead, and the Kings trimmed it back to 4 with an early run in the second period. Field goal shooting, Seattle 18 of 38, 47%. Kings 12 of 32, 38%. Kings will bring it in bounds. Showcut. Checked by Schrempf down on the baseline. Gets rid of it to Richmond. They'll give it back to Showcut. Up the floor it comes to Simmons. Seattle with McMillan, Perkins, Detlef Schrempf, Vincent Askew, and Gary Payton on the deck. 16 on the shot clock. 3:15 to go in the second period of play. And Bobby Hurley lobbing it low to Richmond. Richmond turns a corner on a double team. Tried to feed off. Ball deflected by Gary. Grabbed by Showcut. 6 on the shot clock. Out to Hurley. Feeds it low to Brewer. Steps up, pivots, and jams.
I think Randy Brown tried the ankle, decided he just couldn't go because he was in for a minute. They're trying to rest Hurley. Hurley's right back in the ball game. Makes a nice pass to the big fella.
12-point lead for the Supes. McMillan left side on a 2-man play. Comes off the Schrempf pick. Pick and roll to Detlef out wide to the cutter. Perkins into the lane. Off balance 10-footer. Kicks on the iron. Followed by Vincent. No. Rebound to Brewer. Outlet pass to Richmond. On up the floor right side to Hurley. Skip it low to Showcut. Early offense. Lays it up and in. Beat Showcut with 5 points. He beat Perkins back down the floor after Sam's missed lay-in. That was a tough shot for the big man. Perkins on the run.
Give Bobby Hurley a lot of credit. Last 2 assist pass. Nice recognition out on the floor.
Schrempf doubled as he comes into the lane. Kicks out to Perkins. Hands to Vincent. Sideline left to Gary. Baseline pop. He got it. Gary Payton with 10 points for the ball game. And the Supes lead it 47-35. 2:07 to go in the first half.
Good sign for Gary to bounce back after short arm that free throw and make a jumper.
Simmons off the Brewer pick, looking to return the action. Down low to Brewer. Double team, stumbles out to Simmons. Winds up, delivers off the mark. Showcut at Richmond. Deflect the ball. Richmond comes away with it, leans back and hoists it up and in. Richmond with 13 points. Back come the Sonics and Gary Payton. Working that ball between the wickets. Backs Hurley into the paint. Feeds over to McMillan. In the corner to Askew. Gary on the post wants the ball from Vincent. Vinny looking that way. He'll uncork a 15-footer and bingo down the hatch. Vinny was 6 for the ball game. 49-37.
Keeping the defense honest. Backed off to help on Gary Payton down low. Vinny makes him pay.
Illegal defense whistle on the Supes, and it's a warning on Nate McMillan. 1:22 left in the first half. George Karl's ball club leading 49-37. Karl has done just an outstanding job with his team at 90-42. That's his record coming in as the coach of the Sonics. Perkins checks out, and Cage comes in for the green team. Here's Hurley. He'll skip it out right edge of the three-point perimeter, working on Askew. Richmond cuts between a double team, picked up to dribble, and then kicked it out of bounds, says Bill Spooner, with a knee. Seattle will take it back on the Kings' 13th turnover of the ball game.
Offensively, the Kings really like to isolate either in the post or on the wing with their one-on-one players. That time Richmond went out to the right wing. Vincent Askew, an excellent one-on-one defender, forces him to help and gets a turnover.
Sonics will call a timeout with 1:10 left here in the second period. 49-37 the score. We'll get a replay on that double team on Richmond and see how the turnover was created.
Sonics often like to force players in the wing to the baseline. Vincent recognized that time his help was to the middle. knocks the ball off Richmond's leg, and it goes the other way to the Sonics.
We mentioned the King turnovers now officially up to, well, let's see here, 14 for the ball game, and the Sonics with 9 points off of those turnovers. Is that correct? The Kings have had 9 turnovers here in the second quarter. That is correct. 9 turnovers for the Kings here in the second period of play. Spud Webb did not play tonight. He has a quadricep muscle pull. Actually, it's a bruise to be more accurate, and did not play Sunday against Chicago. They expect him to play when Houston comes calling here on, they're going to be here Friday, I guess it is. By the way, Houston won tonight, we understand, in overtime at Utah to push their record now. What is that, Wally? 11-0 now?
11-0.
Wow.
I don't know if we have a final score, but I don't know if Utah got to the century mark even in overtime, because no one has scored 100 on Houston this season.
I kind of doubt it, because they were at 86 all heading into the overtime. I doubt that they would make 100 points. Nobody has yet this year against that great Houston defense.
Well, it's been 6 or 7 games since anyone's even scored 90 points against the Rockets.
The Sonics here in the second period of play have had 8 of 11 free throws, and that has helped them because from the field they've mustered only 39% shooting, 7 of 18. Kings 9 of 15 from the field here in the second period, 60% shooting. 49-37 is our score. Houston will indeed be here on Friday. The Kings are going to get a chance to see 2 very good basketball teams within a period of 3 days. They better eat a lot of turkey tomorrow, a lot of grandma stuffing. Here's Shrimp, pick and roll, get it back from Gary. Fingers up a 15-footer. He missed it from the baseline. Rebound grab by Richmond. 49-37 the score. Sonics by 12, 56 seconds to go in the first half. Even with the turnovers, the Kings still within striking distance. Hurley outside, has it tapped away. 10 on the shot clock. He'll go to get it at midcourt. Hurley double team, jabbed away by Askew. Hurley picks it up, sends it over to Brewer. 5 on the shot clock. Pull up 15-footer air ball. Grabbed by Shulkut. Hustling play. He pivots in midair and lays it in. Good read by Shulkut. Followed the path of the ball and grabbed it for a deuce. 49-39. Sonics lead trimmed to 10. 33 seconds to go. Second period. McMillan double team. Swings it to the open man Cage. Drives to the baseline. Passes along the inline to Gary, and he twists in a 16-footer in front of his own bench. Gary has stroked the heck out of that ball. 12 points. He's drilled baseline jumpers from opposite sides here in the second period. Hurley double team, steps between the double team, sends it to Brew, over to Shulkut. Cross court pass to Richmond for a 3. Looks good. It is off the mark. Cage was squeezed between Shulkut and Brewer, and a loose ball foul is called on Pete Shulkut, who's played well but has picked up his 4th foul with 10 and 5/10 seconds remaining in the first half. Seattle's lead is 12 at 51-39, and the Sonics from the line 9 of 12.
The Sonics have done a very good job in this game, and they've struggled with something they've struggled with this season. That is getting inside rebounding position. A lot of their free throws this quarter have been because Kings have come over their back and they've gotten called for fouls.
Sonics are number 1 in the NBA in field goal percentage as of tonight at 52%. They are also number 1 in opponents' turnovers at 21%. That is a high-octane, very deadly combination.
Oh, it really is. And thinking back to the playoffs last year when the Sonics struggled, and of course during the regular season as well, is because they didn't shoot the basketball very well. They were stagnant offensively, weren't getting good shots, weren't making them. That's not been the case this season.
Michael's second free throw slides off after hitting the first. Rebound gathered in by Shulkut. He'll feed to Williams with 7. With 6, with 5. Hands off to Shulkut, intercepted by Vinny at midcourt with 2. Ricky's got to look at a 3 at the buzzer. Good if it goes, and it comes up short. At the end of one half complete in Sacramento. The Sonics 52, the Kings 39. Back in a moment on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. Attention all you longtime Sonic fans. Remember a few years ago when the Sonics gave away buttons that said I was a fan when being a fan wasn't cool? They said you would be thanked someday. Well, that day has come. If you still have your button, the Sonics would like to treat you to a pregame dinner before December 4th against Minnesota. Bring your own mustard, though, Wally. All you have to do is, if you still have the button, is RSVP before November 29th by calling the Sonic office at 281-5800. Black tie optional, but bring your own condiments.
When wasn't
That's
it cool
a given.
When wasn't it cool to be a Sonics fan?
You know, I don't know. I don't know when they did this thing. 86 or something. I don't know the history
cool.
of that fine promotion. The Sonics The Sonics 8-0 record looks pretty good right now. Wally, your impressions of the first half?
Well, an excellent defensive first half. They maintained the ball pressure, and the back line of the defense also prevented a lot of easy layup attempts by the Kings.
Soups with a double-digit lead at half here from Sacramento on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. Let's take a look at our GTE Power Play, brought to you by GTE, a proud sponsor of the Seattle SuperSonics.
Well, Nate McMillan is simply one of the best defensive players in the NBA, and we know about the steals, but look at him here blocking 6'11" Mike Poplawski to again save an easy shot by the Kings.
Sonics had 8 steals, and Nate had 5, along with his 4 assists. The Sacramento Kings guilty of 15 turnovers in the first half, 10 in the second quarter. Pretty nice defense.
It really was. The pressure out front was very good. The Sonics can keep that up. Bobby Hurley's the only point guard is really healthy for the Kings. He's going to wear down.
52-39 at half. The Sonics lead the Sacramento Kings here on the Sonics simulcast on the Sonics Broadcasting Network.
Highlights brought to you by Reebok, who reminds you that only the love can make you a player.
.52-39 is our halftime lead. The Seattle SuperSonics leading the Sacramento Kings. Sonics offense, while you mentioned it, has been working fluidly quite well tonight.
They've run the break, gotten guys to fill a lane, good hustle, and delivered the passes to the men who've been open when they've been open. And of course, this starts with all the good defense at one end. Once they get it there, and particularly in this man's hands, excellent at reading the break, just waits for Detlef to fill for an easy deuce.
Not sure fluidly is even a word, but how about sublime? Maybe that works. Nate McMillan's defense has been sublime with his 5 steals. The Sonics with 8 for the ball game.
Well, you talk about Nate Steele. Trying to slip a pass through there is like, what's the old saying? Getting a fastball by Henry Aaron's like getting the sun by a rooster.
I'll take your word for it. Vincent Askew's had some
like
quality minutes off the bench.
Well, they needed him here tonight with Kendall Gill sitting at home. He's come in, did a very good job at the defensive end, which he usually does, but also gotten involved in the offense. He's hit 2 jumpers and also gotten involved on the fast break. Right here again, Sonic defense, once again King. This is part of the reason why their shooting percentage has been so good early this year. These kind of shots, you're not going to miss much, although Vincent almost tried to be too soft with that one.
Sonics with the 8 steals, forcing the 15 Sacramento Kings turnovers. You mentioned it. Bobby Hurley with Spud Webb on the bench, kind of out there by his lonesome right now.
Yeah, he's only played about half the games. He basically shared the minutes with Spud Webb so far this year, but he is very good out in the transition game, identifying when the player is going to break open, and also delivers the pass where the players can do something with it.
And I think in this game, to a greater extent, the loss of Randy Brown with what appears to be a turned right ankle is going to affect the Sacramento Kings. He ignites them off the bench with very good defense, and he's also another ball handler.
No, exactly right. The Sonics will have Gary Payton and Nate McMillan all over Bobby Hurley, and he's going to get tired.
Sonics at half lead at 52-39. We'll see what the second half brings here in a moment on the Sonics Broadcasting Network.
To remind you that only the love can make you a player. Target right on the money. The Horizon Shuttle, Seattle to Spokane every hour, Seattle to Portland every half hour. And by U.S. West Cellular. Call 1-800-BUY-TIME.
Sonics leading the Kings 52-39 here at halftime. Before we start the third quarter, let's take a look at the In the Paint stats brought to you by Ernst and Dutch Boy, keeping you in the paint. Always the right value, always. Sonics with a couple of blocks, the Kings with 2 as well. The Sonics have gotten their blocks from Kemp and McMillan. Simmons and Tisdale with the rejections for the Kings. Kings have outboarded the Sonics 22-21. The Kings have been out-rebounded in 7 of their 9 games played thus far this year. They are a very good offensive rebounding team, but on the defensive glass, they're a bit lacking. The Sonics have gone off to a quick start on 13 of 24, 54% in the first quarter. Cooled, obviously, in the second period. 21 of 45 at half. The Sonics 47%. Kings 16 of 39, 41%. The Sonics at the line 10 of 14, 71. Kings 7 of 14, and even 50. 12 assists on those 21 Sonic field goals. 11 for the 16 for the Kings. Kings with 15 turnovers and 9 Sonic points off turnovers. Seattle with 10 turnovers and 12 King points off those turnovers. So they've done a pretty good job of taking advantage of the Sonic miscues. Gary Payton leads the way with 12 points on 6 of 9 shooting from the floor, including a couple of nice jump shots in that second quarter from opposite baseline sides. Detlef Schrempf with 11 points, 3 of 6 shooting from the field, 5 of 5 from the line. Ricky Pierce with 8 points coming off the bench in 10 minutes. He's 3 of 8. And Vincent Askew with the 6 points. Vinny has also picked off a couple of assists and has a steal to his credit. Mitch Richmond with 13 points led the Kings in the first half. 5 of 10 from the field. 0 for 3, however, from three-point range. 3 of 4 from the line with the 4 rebounds. Chilcutt with 7 points just around the basket. Lionel Simmons 5, and Walt Williams chipped in with 5 points for the Sacramento Kings. Shawn Kemp was saddled with 3 fouls in the first quarter of play, and for that reason only played 9 minutes. Now he is back. He registered 4 points and 4 rebounds in the 9 minutes that he played. He had a huge game Saturday night. Just outstanding. 28 points, 12 rebounds, and he did it in 29 minutes. Went to the line 15 times and hit 14 of those free throws.
Shawn always has had the great quickness, because his quickness to the basketball and going after rebounds reminds me of a young Moses Malone before Moses put on all the weight. His desire and his interest in getting there is greater than I've ever seen it.
He just needs, Shawn just needs to harken back to Saturday night, use those same simple yet quick moves to gain some ground inside. Here are the Kings now. Richmond drives the baseline, leans in on the way, trying to draw the foul. Can't. Rejection inside. Kemp had a hand on it. Perkins plucks it free, sends it to Gary. Over to Detlef. Pull up Jay. In and out. Rebound. McMillan after it with Simmons tapping away at it. Last touch by Nate. The Kings will get it back. 13-point Sonic lead just underway here in this third period of action. The 334th consecutive sellout here at Arco Arena. 17,000 plus. A little upset with the officials in the first half. Oakes and Corbin and Bill Spooner. Outside Simmons rotates it over to Hurley. 17-footer left side. Rip. Down it goes. Bobby Hurley.
It looks like the Kings want to go right at Shawn Kemp. They got the ball to Walt Williams out front and then posting him up, trying to draw that 4th foul on Shawn.
11-point spread for Gary Payton. Swinging it to McMillan in front of the Kings bench, guarded by Richmond. McMillan to Shrimp, 15-footer wide open. He got it. Detlef Shrimp, the open man. 13 points for Detlef.
Oftentimes the man who gets open is the man who sets the screen. That time Detlef set a back screen. Sam went to the basket, opened up Detlef for the easy 15-footer.
Lionel Simmons out of LaSalle. The L train to Williams. Straightaway 3. A tough shot. Rimmed it off. Richmond had it. Came down with it. Tied up by Perkins. A late whistle and a foul. And Sam will get the loose ball foul.
Well, I think it was a foul, but that was extremely late. Williams just left naked out front. Clangs one hard off the back. The rebound came off hard. Sam was caught outside and reached over top of Mitch Richmond.
Richmond trying to find Williams on the post, in fronted by McMillan with a steal. Nate McMillan with another steal. Give him 6 for the ball game. Now McMillan will set the floor. He is something else, isn't he? 13 on the shot clock. Here's Payton in front of the Kings bench. Checked by Hurley. Gary Payton looking over the left shoulder. Feeds to McMillan. They rotate it with 6. Over to Shrimp. Starts to drive on Williams. Sidewinds. A running right-hander off glass. Won't go. Rebound volley to Kemp. Slings a sidearm pass to Gary. Leans back. 12-footer left side and got nothing but net. 14 for Gary Payton. It's a 56-41 count. Seattle by 15. Their largest lead of the ball game. Here's Simmons outside. Jab steps right, feeds it right to Tisdale. Again, fronted by Perkins with a steal. Out to McMillan, centers it to Gary. Shrimp wide open on his right hip. But he was trying to angle in, was bumped and fouled. Non-shooting foul. Whistle on the Kings, Walt Williams.
Kevin, it is beautiful, smart basketball the Sonics are playing. Sam slides around for a pretty steal. Textbook defense with the off arm. You can see he's going to come around. No foul, just anticipates the pass. Kicks it out nicely. Nate, very good with the basketball himself, centers it to Gary. Gary, the head of steam, goes right towards the basketball, towards the basket, and easily beats Williams.
The Sonics, of course, led the NBA in steals last year and had 5 players with 100 steals or better. And one of those players was Ricky Pierce. Walt Williams with a foul, a non-shooter. McMillan will bring it in bounds. He will get it from Kemp. Kemp down inside. Really gave Williams a shot to get open on the low block left side. Kemp with the ball, trying to lean between double team. Goes into the air. Jackknives, had it stripped away, picked it up, circles, and lays it up and in. Shawn Kemp spent an eternity in the lane and finishes it with a muscle job to the gutter.
I think it was 3 seconds before he got knocked away the first time.
17-point Sonic lead. Illegal defense now whistled by Bill Oakes down on the Sonics here. The entire coaching staff of the Sonics comes out to implore Bill Oakes to give him a break. He won't.
That was a quick move by the whole staff. George goes first. Kloppy and Gerg are going to be right behind him. They're all focused on Bill Oakes.
And Richmond misses the technical foul shot. The Sonics take possession with 9.5 minutes to go. The streak continues for the Houston Rockets. They are 11-0 with an overtime victory at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. And I tell you what, the Jazz have been playing very, very well. 17-point Sonic lead. 9:29 to go in the third period. Here is Tisdale. Posted left side, double team now. They swing it to Simmons, out to Williams. Free ball look. Rolls off. Rebound taken by Kemp. Shawn Kemp will dribble across midcourt. Fling it ahead to Payton. Side saddle dribble in front of the Kings bench. Feathers it low to Perkins. Fakes the handoff. Spins to the baseline. Ball away left-hander. No. Kemp the follow. Keeps it alive. Off glass. But the rebound claimed by Simmons. And he throws the outlet pass out of bounds. Sonic basketball on the King turnover. He just flat threw it out of bounds. McMillan was in the vicinity.
Well, was he in the vicinity? He was the reason he threw it away, because he got between the outlet pass and Bobby Hurley. Simmons, lackadaisical, but Nate right there doesn't get credit for a steal, but results in Sonic basketball once again because of number 10.
Great read by McMillan. Opening up the floor for Kemp. Drives left side. Kick out. Hook pass to Shrimp. Slides it across the floor to Nate. Three. Got it. Man, was that pretty. Oh, what ball movement by the Sonics. And boom, just like that, threw up 20 points with 8:47 to go in the third. Ooh, it's operating now, Wally. We've got more for you. Got more for you in a moment. As the timeout's been called here on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. They call that a hook in the industry we're in.
The hook. Yeah. It got me going.
On Saturday, November the 27th, we'll have the broadcast for you at 4:30 p.m. on both radio and TV on our simulcast. Prime Sports Northwest will handle it from the television end of our operation. The Green Party right now up by 20, 61-41. We're in the third. Sacramento King basketball. Tisdale 101, now doubled. Pull up Jay, in and out. Kemp takes the rebound with two hands. Two hands, baby. 7 rebounds for Kemp. Here's Perkins. Outside is Shawn. They spread the floor for him. He'll swing it over to Det. Broken up, tapped away. Richmond taps it out to McMillan. 13 on the shot clock for Nate. Lob pass, a beauty. Low to Payton, and he just lays it up and in as Tisdale wasn't quick enough to get over to double. 16 for Gary. A tremendous pass from McMillan inside over the fronting defense of Hurley. Bobby did everything he could. Sonics by 22. Here's Richmond. Double team. Sideline left. Kemp skies at the ball, comes down, and I think landed on Richmond's knee. Mitch is trying to work it out a little bit. The foul on Kemp is his 4th.
Shawn just a little too aggressive, moving his feet very well defensively, denying players and going for the double team. But again, the follow through, because it is so aggressive and enthusiastic, makes a little contact and gets called for it.
Man, look at the Sonics. They tripled the ball, and then they recovered once he attempted to swing the ball out. Now Tisdale is double teamed by Shrimp and Perkins, and Bill Oakes calls illegal defense on the SuperSonics. Deadlift Shrimp. You get the feeling, Wally, night in and night out, that this is a sort of a cat and mouse game. The officials come in here, they probably talk among themselves about the Sonics defense, about how George pushes the defensive schemes to the limit. The Chuck Yeager of defense.
But clearly they trap and switch more than any team in the NBA. And there's always going to be that gray area between, are they there for the double team or are they on their way? I felt Detlef was there for the double team. That should have been too.
Now they double Tisdale again on the low block. He swings up the turnaround hook. In and out it comes. Gary had the ball started up the floor. Lost the dribble. Williams and Payton both dive for it. Jabbed out of bounds. And last touch, they say, by Gary Payton. So the Kings will get it back with the Sonics leading at 63-42.
Well, Gary just starts taking off before he has control and ends up with a fumble.
21-point Sonic lead. And Mitch Richmond with the ball, working between the rings. Richmond's been quiet, 14 points, but only a point here in the third quarter on that technical foul shot. Richmond pushes a chest pass over to Simmons. Outside, Richmond sets up. McMillan drives by him. He's met in the lane by Gary Payton, and a block foul is called on Gary Payton. Third foul on Gary Payton. The crowd is actually sitting right behind us, maybe a foot and a half. And the crowd is sitting right behind George Karl as well. We've got a couple of guys over here with season tickets sitting right behind George. And they're exchanging one-liners. Richmond with the inbounds. And a timeout called by the Sacramento Kings. This will be a 20-second timeout with 7:26 left in the third. It's a 63-42 count. with the Kings leading. And I think now it's been changed to a full timeout. Full timeout on the floor. We'll be back with more in a moment on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. Scores from around the league brought to you by Miller Genuine Draft Lights. Say GD Lights, say no more. We'll have a complete rundown of all the scores on our post-game show. The Warriors won a big one on the road against Miami, second of a back-to-back. Williams trying to swing the ball in the lane as it tapped away. It'll be Kings ball. 141-124 Charlotte over the Los Angeles Lakers tonight. And Charlotte, Washington losing at home to Cleveland 113-107. Terrell Brandon back with the Cavaliers. Boston 118, Detroit 103. Bobby Hurley will bring the ball inbounds for the Kings. Mitch Richmond has it outside. Richmond working one-on-one. Back Shrimp off. 10-foot fall-away Jay in the lane. No go. Kemp grabs his 9th rebound. Up to Gary across midcourt. Scampers into the lane. Skips a high pass intended for McMillan. Tapped away. Grabbed by Richmond. Up to Hurley. On the break. To the glass. Scoops it up and in off the window. 63-44 the count. And a 20-second timeout because the clock is off here slightly. They're showing 13 minutes left here in this third period of play.
That's like the old Boston Celtic quarter. The Celtics were down.
Crank a few more seconds up there.
Everyone used to accuse Red Auerbach of everything, and some of it was true.
Of course, the timekeeper was probably a Union guy there in Boston.
In Boston.
63-40. You know, the Union guys just take their time with stuff, and I'm a member of Union, so I can I can speak freely here.
Well, we can get a NAFTA debate going if this game gets any more out of hand.
7:04 left in the third. 63-44 the count. 19-point Sonic lead. Here's Gary Payton pumping the dribble out in front of the Sacramento King bench. Double team. Swing across court over to Shrimp. Drives the in-line. Twisted and fouled. He's spun around in midair by Simmons. Sort of augured into the floor. Simmons picks up the foul, and that is his third.
See Detlef just making a strong drive, and Simmons makes almost just a modest effort to get to the basketball, mostly trying to get to Detlef's forearms there.
This team individually has a great deal of personal pride in their games, and collectively team pride. There's no question about that. But Detlef, after getting the criticism for the lack of rebounding in that home stretch, comes out with 8 boards against Golden State on Saturday night.
And really came out the second half. You could see he made up his mind. He was just going to go to the glass and corral some rebounds.
14 points tonight as the Kings break back in low as Simmons going up. Shot blocked by Kemp. Then Simmons got it back, tried to reverse it up, and is fouled by Nate McMillan.
The thing you have to like about this club, there are a lot of things you can like, but the one is the commitment everyone has to playing the defensive end.
Yep.
We talk about personal pride. You have personal and collective pride just to prevent the other team from scoring every trip down court.
Here's Simmons to the line. The free throw up and off the heel of the iron. In case you missed the top of our program, you're not aware, Kendall Gill did not travel to Sacramento for tonight's game. He is remaining in Seattle to undergo testing in an attempt to determine the cause and treatment for headaches that kept him from participating in the second half of Tuesday's practice. And the update on Gill's status will be available to us on Friday. Shawn Kemp with 10 rebounds tonight. Perkins lobs it low to Shrimp, tries to turn with the hook. Simmons blocks it beautifully. The outlet pass bobbled in midcourt, stolen by Kemp away from Hurley. Shovels it over to McMillan, has a head start into the lane. Reverses a pass over to Shrimp. Lost the handle, picks it up, scoops it outside to Nate. 64-44 the count. Sonics by 20. 6:15 to go in the third. Shrimp post up right side, double team. Tried to circle by Williams. Walt just reaches in and picks the pocket. Sends it to Hurley. Pull up Jay, in and out. Rebound to Kemp is 11.
In just 15 minutes, Shawn Kemp had those 11 boards.
He only played 9 minutes. Foul trouble in the first half. Shrimp beneath the lid to Perkins. Tosses outside to Kemp. Drives left side. Pull up pumper from 10. No. Gary with a follow flip. Off his fingertips. Got the rebound. Knocked free to the floor. Kemp dives for it. Keeps it alive. Diving for the ball with a 20-point lead. That's what we're talking about. Pride in your game. Pride in your team game. And commitment to the defensive end. Here's McMillan outside off the Kemp pick. 9 on the shot clock. Shrimp wide open. McMillan fouled him. Shrimp is fouled as he drew the double team. Tremendous court awareness by Nate McMillan.
Detlef broke open for a split second. As soon as he broke free, that pass was in the air. You can see right there, Simmons turned his head for a second. Detlef just flashes in the key, and the ball is delivered to him.
Wally, the ball knocked free. Kemp picks it up. When the play breaks down like that, what do you try to do as a player? Where do you want to go? What spot do you want to reach? Well, what happens with your offense?
Well, you want to look, first of all, to see who gets possession, because you want to be heading back on defense. Of course, the other team picks it up. But in a spread situation there where there's a scramble, you're just looking for lanes. You're figuring some of the defenders are going to be turning their heads. So you're going to be, first of all, looking to go to the basket just like Detlef did to slip inside, but just to find a crease in the defense.
Detlef Schrempf drills a couple of free throws. And Detlef with a very big night. 65-44 the score. 5:26 to go, third period play. Seattle leading here from the beginning moments of this contest. A 22-point spread now. Back to their largest margin. Here is Richmond. Baseline right. Double teams. Dribbles out into the key. Tried to feed cross court. Broken up by Perkins, but grabbed right back by Richmond to the glass. Leans and banks it in as time ran down on the shot clock. Richmond got it the hard way. 16 points. Payton on the early push over to Perkins. Drives the in-line. Reverse scoop with a left hand up and in. Oh, big smooth. Wheels it in from the belt buckle. That was a beauty. And our Horizon Air instant replay of the night. Big, smooth, you betcha. Hurley drives into the lane. Tried to scoop it off to a cutter, but it rolls free. Williams will track it down for the Kings. Starts his drive into the key. Bumped by Schrempf and a foul. Called on Detlef. Third on Det. I mentioned the big night for Detlef Schrempf. 16 points for Det. 8 of 9 from the line. 4 of 10 from the field. And he goes to the bench with his third foul. Walt Williams to the line. Boy, the crowd here in Sacramento murmuring right now with 4:42 left in the first.
The worrisome thing is that the Sacramento Kings club this year has had a habit of getting themselves behind at home. And big murmur going on here.
That is one big turkey. That is one big turkey. For a radio audience, a guy dressed in a paper mache turkey outfit with a little tiny beak on his face. Gotta get out of that outfit before tomorrow comes around. They'll be chasing him around. Here's Williams to the line. Walt having a tough night. 2 of 9 from the field. Drills the free throw.
Of course, this is his second game back, coming off the injury, and the conditioning not quite there yet.
Had a nice game against Chicago with a 17-point Sunday. Here's McMillan, skips it low to Perkins. Back to the basket, looking over the right shoulder, dribbling with the left mid. Double team, ball tap free, grabbed by Richmond. Up it comes to Hurley. Hurley across midcourt, slows in the weave. Hands to Richmond, the trainer. His pocket. Richmond, nothing but net. 18 points for Mitch Richmond. 68-50 our score, an 18-point lead. 4:16 left in the first period of play. Nate McMillan works down the far sideline, gets the pick from Perkins. Perk rolls, gets it out wide on the floor, near side. Swinging out to the point, intended for Pierce. And Sam threw it right by him and out of bounds. George Karl pacing in front of the bench. Quite aware of Wally's point a moment ago. Sacramento's tendency to come back in these type of blowout affairs. It's an 18-point lead, and that lead is not safe with 4:06 to go in the third period against anybody you're playing in this league. Here's Hurley outside. Bobby Hurley with it. Looking mid-post right side to Tisdale. Cage leans on him. Tisdale will drive, leans in with a hook, won't go. Left it short. Cage with a rebound. Outlet to Nate McMillan. Nate will push it up the floor. Stops in front of Gary St. Jean's Sacramento bench. Skips it low on the post. Here's Payton backing down to Hurley. Spins away. Hurley diving for the ball. Tisdale doubles him. They swing it outside, and the buzzer goes off with 11 on the shot clock. McMillan looks to Bill Spooner and says, "What's happening?" And he says, "Keep playing. Keep playing." That buzzer's going off. Here's Cage outside. 3 on the shot clock. Off balance Jay. Hit the rim. Glanced off. Rebound grab by Mitch Richmond.
I'm telling you,
that's penalizing the Sonics right there. They should have allowed Seattle to bring it out of bounds.
No question.
Richmond dribbles off the foot. Ball loose to midcourt. Payton picks it up. Fouled by Hurley. He will continue on but miss the shot, and it is really getting ragged right now. With 3:20 left in the first period, George Karl comes down and says, "What is going on with the horn here?" They should have allowed the Sonics to bring it in bounds.
That's right, and regroup.
And reset the clock maybe at 15 seconds. Nate turned with 10 on the shot clock to look at Bill Spooner, and he actually said, "What is going on?" Spooner said, "Continue to play."
It could be that old Celtic timer that's here. First he's putting time back in the clock. Now he's blowing the horn when the Sonics have the basketball.
Union guys, they just keep their gigs, Wally. They just go from market to market. I'm telling you. And I'm a Union member. 3:20 to go in the first period, in the third period of play. I know about these things.
Yeah, you're at minimum wage, though. This guy thinks getting paid more. Right there, Nate. I don't know if we get credit for that steal, but that is outstanding hustle again from it's a terrific player with a lot of heart.
Well, now the entire scoreboard has gone off. I mean, it is completely off. It's shut down here. And as they
I hope somebody wrote down the score before it went off.
Placing a call to Yokohama as we speak. And Mr. Kitamura will be on the first plane in the morning to fix the box.
Is he a union guy?
I bet he, no. Yeah. They don't. I don't think they dabble in that over there in Japan.
Yeah, they do. They do.
They have unions in Japan?
Sure they do.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
That's why we're here, to educate.
Let's take a look at our next telecast opportunity. The Cleveland Cavaliers on Saturday, 4:30 start time, November the 27th on Prime Sports Northwest. We've been told that Randy Brown will not be returning due to the turned ankle tonight. And that is a blow certainly for the Sacramento Kings, who depend on Brown really to give him a charge defensively off the bench. And he's a nice ball handler as well. So as we mentioned at half, looks like Bobby Hurley is going to be the man handling the basketball from this point on. A reminder that Time Tracks and Kung Fu tomorrow night airs at 8 p.m. on KSTW TV 11. That's beginning at 8. Time Tracks and Kung Fu, a doubleheader on KSTW Channel 11. No smart remarks about programming.
Don't give me that look. I wouldn't say anything about the people that put us on the air, would I? You have little faith.
You know, everybody in the league is watching this thing on the dish tonight, so you got to be respectful of what
and everyone in the league loves KSTW.
They do.
And probably be tuned into those two fine shows tomorrow night.
They emulate one of the nation's top independent stations.
Yes.
Well, there he is. There's our man working on the scoreboard here at Arco Arena in Sacramento, California. Our score 68-50. The Sonics by 18. 3:20 left in the third period. And the fans at home wondering how this game has gone. The Sonics shooting 27 of 58, 47%. They have out-rebounded the Kings 31-27. The Sonics led by the 11 boards of Shawn Kemp. Schrempf with 16 points. Payton with 16. He's been outstanding tonight, Wally. 8 of 11. Gary has shown that jump shot tonight. The two jumpers he hit in the second quarter, and then that quick little turn in the 10-footer down here on the post-up over Hurley was a beautiful shot because Tisdale was running right at him.
I agree. Everything's been under control in the flow of the offense.
We're going to take a break now as they are set to play. 68-50 is our score. I think we're gonna come back to play here, so we'll hold up on the commercial break, and we'll keep it here on our simulcast tonight here in Sacramento, California. Sacramento Kings 4-0 here at home, but the Sonics have had a very good track record against the Kings here in Sacramento since their move in '85. They've been here now. This is their 9th year. Sonics are 10-10 against Sacramento with the Kings here in California's state capital. Now I think they've got things sorted out. The board flickers alive here at midcourt above us at Arco Arena. George Karl looking on as Gary Payton now will steady himself for a couple of free throws from up and in. Payton with 17 points.
I don't think that break, that scoreboard problem came at a bad time for the Sonics.
No.
The game was getting sloppy. The Kings making a little run there. I think the break did them some good.
They have the 22-point lead. It was quickly whittled by the Kings to 18. And a couple of back-to-back turnovers. Payton's free throw up and in. Gary has 18 points for the night. Leads the Sonics in scoring. 70-50 is our score. Sacramento Kings are led in scoring by the 18 from Mitch Richmond. He spread them out. Here's Hurley out beyond the three-point ring. Working on Payton. Crossover dribble into the lane. Toss pass over to Richmond. Baseline flip. No. Rebound grab by McMillan. Juggles it. Trying to get it away from Payton. His own teammate. Feeds over to Ricky. Drives the lane and lays it up and in. Pierce with 10. Might have taken steps. But how about that play from McMillan?
Another great play. Just great floor recognition by Nate.
72-50, 22-point Sonic lead. Simmons swivels to the glass. Reverses right hand scoop over two Sonics in the paint. Missed it. Rebound Gary up the floor. McMillan on the drive. Sends a rainbow up on the scoop. Won't go. Drew the foul. And Gary Payton will go to the line.
Kevin,
I should say McMillan up there for a deuce.
Shawn Kemp did a real smart thing on that play. He could not get both hands on the defensive rebound. His left hand was out, so he just tapped it out of traffic to Gary, which triggered another Sonic fast break with numbers.
Shawn Kemp with his 13 rebounds, and as Wally mentioned just a moment ago, he only played the 9 minutes in the first half. He's gone the entire distance here in the third. We've got 2:40 to go, so it's a pretty good rebound per minute ratio. McMillan hits the free throw. McMillan with 8 points. He's hit a 3 tonight. Second one up, got it. And we are told that McMillan now has a career high 8 steals for the night. 8 steals for Nate McMillan with his 9 points and 6 assists. Outstanding ball game turned in by the Sonics co-captain. It's a 24-point Sonic spread. Their largest lead of the night. Hurley finds Richmond posted open. Kemp trying to sneak in the side, jabs it away. A foul is called. It's on the Rain Man. It is the 5th foul on Shawn Kemp.
Great pass by Hurley. Not much room to get through there. Shawn, the commitment to defense, does not want to give up an easy one. But in that situation, he should give up an easy one.
Richmond to the line.
George choosing to leave Shawn in the ballgame with 5 fouls. Knowing he's doing a very good job on the boards for him.
Thing is, you get so caught up in the aggressive defense, don't you, Wally? It's tough to restrain yourself sometimes.
It really is.
You think everything's going to go your way.
Every instinct in your body tells you to go out and try to get a piece of that basketball. But Shawn, when he has the foul trouble, has to learn to pull that hand back.
Richmond with 20. A couple of free throws. Sonics by 22. McMillan into the lane. Double team to Kemp. Great pass outside to Ricky Pierce in the corner. Works on Williams. Drives by him. Double team to Nate. Open bomb. Got it. He was on the line. He threw in a beauty. Nate McMillan with 11 points for the game, 7 in the quarter. Getting the start for Kendall Gill. Here's Hurley now over to Williams. Jab steps to the baseline, whirls into the lane. Off balance, he just lost it out of bounds. But they will rule it off Sonic hands, and it'll be King ball with 15 on the shot clock. 76-52, a 24-point Sonic lead in the third with 1:55 to go. Inbounds pass, Tisdale down low beneath the lid. Hooks it up and in. Tough shot by Tisdale. He made it look easy. The big left-hander out of Oklahoma has a half dozen. They've held him in check. 21 points per ball game Tisdale had coming into tonight's contest. Here's Askew high on the left. Down low to Kemp. Leans and feels Williams. Hands off to Pierce. Slanting over for the pull-up J. No. Long rebound. Grabbed by Williams. Wheels it out of backcourt to Richmond. Dribble drive on McMillan and Kemp. He is fouled. This one is on McMillan, who actually grabbed Richmond. Richmond is dashed to the floor and is holding the right hand. He's up, and I think he's all right now.
Richmond with a great strength. Nate with a hand check reaches in, and you're not going to get that basketball away from Mitch Richmond when he starts the basket from that position on the floor.
76-54 the count. The Sonics lead it with 1:29 left here in the third. The Sonics put the hammer on in the first quarter. They led by 10, as they did at Golden State on Saturday night. 27-17. The Sonics shot 54% in the first quarter, 13 of 24, and forced the Kings into 5 turnovers. The Sonics outscored them in the second quarter, 25-22. Led at half, 52-39, as Richmond hits the free throw. Well, there's a loud ovation. Bobby Hurley comes out, and Jimmy Les will check in for the Sacramento Kings. Les has not seen a lot of time. He's only seen action in 3 ball games. 5 minutes. He was the 3-point percentage champion. What was it, about 3 years ago, I think it was. Out of Bradley, team with Hersey Hawkins for Dick Versace Bradley Brave Ball Club that won an NIT title. Here's Richmond to the line, snags the free throws.
Gary St. Jean not left with many options for resting Bobby Hurley. Goes to Jim Les, although he's more of a shooting guard than he is a point guard.
76-56, Sonics by 20. 1:20 to go in the third period. McMillan touch pass over to Michael. Inline right, double team to Nate. Good ball movement to Pierce, drives into the lane, out to Nate, fires another one on the line. He hit another one, and again, the big toes on the line. 13 points for Nate McMillan. Feeling it and flying it. Nate McMillan, wow, on the heels of a 7 for 9, 3 for 4, 3-point effort on Saturday night against the Warriors for 19 points. Here's Richmond out of the corner. Let's ask you fly by him, and he drills a jumper deep in the pocket. Richmond with 24 points. He's heating up. Pierce flips it low to Askew. His shot rejected along the inline, but picked up by Ricky Pierce. 16 on the shot clock for the Sonics. Pierce backs in, double team. Swinging outside of McMillan over to Vinny. Jab steps. Now will pull up. Long flick. 20-footer. No. Rebound. Grabbed by Simmons. Here comes Jim Les. Don't let him pull up and stick to 3. Nate's wise to him. Les feeds over to Williams. Drives the inline. Fends off the defender with his right hand and leans back to the glass. Lays it up and in. That is a veteran move from a 2-year player out of Maryland. Down low, early offense. Askew wide open. Who hit him with a pass? Wally wearing number 10.
I would say Nate McMillan.
Good guess. Askew with 8 points. And Nate McMillan with another assist, 7 for the game. 13 points, 7 assists, and a career high 8 steals.
How do I do a straight man, by the way?
80-60 the count.
You were
sensational. If you can get that McMahon laugh down, you'll be in great shape. 8 seconds left in the third. Williams with the ball between the rings. Swings it over to left. Down low to Shulka with 2 with 1. Turnaround Hopper. He got it off glass. Nice shot by Big Pete. 9 points for Shulka. Sonics bring it in bounds. They won't have enough time to get off the shot. That ends the third period. Our score, Sonics 80, Kings 62. Back with a fourth quarter run in a moment on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. A long distance play brought to you by AT&T, a proud sponsor of the NBA and the Seattle SuperSonics.
Well, along with Nate's superb efforts, passing the ball, defending, he's stroking it perfectly. He just needs to get smaller shoes. Right on the line again.
13 points for Nate McMillan. 9 here in the quarter. McMillan has hit 5 of 7 from the field. 13 points, 7 assists, 8 steals for McMillan. He might go for the toughest of all triple doubles tonight when you throw in the steals. Here's Askew outside. Over to Shrimp. Long pop. He got it. Detlef Shrimp snugs it in there. 18 points for Det. A big basket there to begin the fourth period. It puts the Sonics up by 20. And now bringing it across midcourt, Lionel Simmons. He'll swing it over to Jimmy Les off the Poplowski pick. Say that a few times. Les hooks it low to Shulka. Covered by Shrimp. Sends it outside right to Ricky Pierce. Go behind the bucket across midcourt. Pull up. Long three-pointer. In and out. Rebound. Shrimp had it. Tapped away from behind by Simmons. It'll be Sonic ball out of bounds.
Gary St. Jean pacing the sidelines. Downcast look. His club just has not executed offensively, and of course the Sonics' great defense has had a lot to do with that.
They'll bring it in bounds to Pierce. Wide open pop out of the corner. Ricky nailed it. Ricky Pierce. 12 points for Ricky with a quick snap of the wrist. Ricky Pierce is at 5 of 12 and has a dozen. Les down low to Simmons on the post, trying to wrap around move on Shrimp. Hands off to Poplowski, who hits the baseline jumper. Poplowski out there with those work boots. Up from McMillan to Askew for the lay-in. Another great feed thrown on the dime from midcourt from Nate McMillan effortlessly. McMillan has grabbed 9 assists, 13 points, and 8 steals. A timeout on the floor. Sonics 86, Kings 64 on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. Scores. We head to the fourth quarter play. Kevin Calabro and Wally Walker on hand. Nate McMillan, 13 points, 9 assists, 8 steals for Mac. He's at 5 of 7 from the field, and that includes a three-pointer back in the third period of play when he registered 9 of his 13 points. Poplowski swings it over to Shulka, trying to feed it low to Evers Burns. Ball tapped out of bounds. Burns is 6'8", 260 out of Maryland, a rookie.
And been on the injured list. This is his first NBA appearance.
Jimmy Les to bring it in bounds. Les will swing it outside to Burns. Burns, 15-footer with a left hand, clangs off. Poplowski flips the rebound away. Shrimp grabs it. Out it comes to Nate McMillan across midcourt. Nate into the lane. Over to Ricky. Pull-up jumper from the inline. Missed it. Ricky is felled by Poplowski on the follow-through, and Ricky is down. Ricky had a big old lumberjack just roll a big old logging truck right over him. This is the aftermath of being hit head-on by a logging truck, folks. Pow!
Well, good to see Ricky get up and get up with a smile.
I'm glad.
That shot there is not as pretty.
We're laughing only because Ricky gets up, smiles, and says, "What was that?"
Big fella, I know you couldn't stop yourself once you got motoring.
Now we'll go to the line, and the free throw up and short. Shawn Kemp comes in. Kemp with 5 fouls, and Shrimp now will check out. Shrimp 5 of 11, 8 of 9 from the line, 18 points, 4 rebounds for Detlef. Nice night for the big fella.
Solid, consistent.
Yep. Here's Rick to the line. Second one up, got it. 13 points for Ricky Pierce. Poplowski, Burns, Les, Williams, and Shulka. Les skips it low to Williams on the in-line. Dribble drive. Double team. Sways and lays it up with the right hand. Hung on the rim. Shulka with the rebound. Put it up. Blocked by Kemp. Tapped outside. Shulka saves it, but right to Pierce on the break. To McMillan. Back to Ricky to the glass. Lays it up and in. Pierce with 15 points. Man, did those two get down the floor in a hurry. Now comes Poplowski with it up and in reverse. Poplowski checks the vicinity, spotted a seam and drives into the lane. Askew comes the other way on. Poplowski is fouled and scores. Askew on the drive with a dozen. Foul on Poplowski, his third.
Well, the 5 that the Kings have on the floor now may be one of the least well-known 5 you could put on the floor in the NBA. So Pete Chilcutt got hurt in the play before, but Sonics are just running the floor. Vince Naskew finding the seam and taking it as far as he needs to go.
The Fiddler up to the line, hits it 13 points for Vincent Askew. 92-66 the count, and the Sonics have their largest lead of the night. When are they going to send the bench in? 9:42 left. Here's Les, pick and roll to Burns into the lane. Scoop shot up and in. Might have been an offensive foul. He pushed off with the open hand, the free arm, but they're going to whistle it on Michael for the bump. Burns to the line.
Well, yeah, Michael got there in plenty of time, but you're at this stage of the game where you just don't want to get hurt. Michael hasn't played all the years in the NBA by not realizing that.
Burns scissoring his legs as he came in there. And you don't want to get a kung fu kick. He misses the free throw. Grabbed by Shawn Kemp. You like that tie-in to KSTW Channel 11 programming? It begins at 8 o'clock on TV 11 Friday night. Yeah, let me have that promo again. We'll read that sucker. You bet. Here's Cage outside. Floats a high one up. Got it. Nope. Basket won't count. What do we have, Bill Oakes? A grab on the Sonics before the shot. Vinny Askew, the guilty party. His second foul. Time tracks and kung fu tomorrow night, 8 p.m. on KSTW Channel 11. 92-68 Sonics by 24. Big ones. 9:19 left. Wins. George going to go to his bench.
Well, it's awfully early to go. I mean, on the opposing team's floor with a history coming back, you don't want to go too early and get guys cold.
Stripped by Cage, coast to coast for the Statue of Liberty jackhammer slam. Michael Cage with 7. It's too early.
It is too early. Bottom line, you look at the club the Kings have on the floor and you think you can go, but they get a little momentum, get the crowd back in, and then you don't want to put cold guys back in the ball game.
26-point lead. There's Chef. He's getting oiled up. He's got a little 3-in-1 oil, applying it to the knees, flexing them, boosting up those joints, strapping on the shields.
The 10th, 11th, and 12th guys for the Sonics are all basically centers, so you have a funky group when you put them all out there.
Illegal defense call on the Sonics, a technical foul less to the line. We were talking about it. It's a point that we should make for the fans. You see Rich King, you see Steve Scheffler, you see Irvin Johnson, and you see Chris King, who's on the injured list. All 4 of them over here with Tim Gergridge before anybody's in the building, before the maintenance guy opens the door. They got to climb in the window to get in here, and they're out working out 2-on-2, 1-on-1. That's a little intimidating when it's your floor and you got 4 guys from the other team out there working a good half hour before you even step foot in the building.
I agree. As we talked about, it sends a great signal, I think, to the league that the Sonics are here to work. They're going to outwork you, and that those guys do get a workout. It's good for them and their development, but I like what it tells the rest of the league.
King turnover on a tough night for Sacramento. Goodness gracious, good golly Miss Molly. 22 turnovers for Sacramento. 94-68, 26-point lead. 8:44 to go in the ballgame. Here's Ricky from Gary. Drives right side, pull up Jalen Williams. In and out. Kemp after the rebound. A loose ball foul on the Kings. It's on Evers Burns. You know, another point, Wally, to be made about the Sonics up 26. Why aren't they playing the bench at the 8:39 mark? George mentioned earlier. He says, I want to find out what these guys can do together. I want to get as many minutes with these fellows together as I possibly can. See how the combinations fit. So he's making some observations right now.
George has high-level problems as a coach. I mean, Kendall Gill, we hope will be back Friday night. He's had a nice start to the season. Just trying to figure out the Sonic system. But you have Nate McMillan playing outstanding basketball. You have to keep him on the floor.
Gary Payton hits another beautiful jump shot from the baseline. 20 points for Gary Payton. 9 of 12 for Gary on a night where the Sonics had it going on once again. A 28-point lead on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. Sonics got off to the 12-0 start with a 5-0 home record, 7-0 on the road. They were win streak snapped by New Jersey and Seattle, and in January they hit a rough spell where they lost 11 of 12. They finished with 48 wins that year, 82-83. Lost in the first round, bounced out in 2 games to the Portland Trailblazers. Gus, Jack, David Thompson, Lonnie, Freddie, Special K, Greg Kelser, Danny Vrains, James Donaldson, Steve Hawes, John Gregg. Williams to the line. Misses the free throw on the technical foul shot. Wilson against the Sonics for illegal D. There's a look at the teams. Ollie Volchak on the far right, and Lenny Wilkins, the coach of the team. Frank Furtado, the longtime trainer.
I hope I didn't let Fred drive that vehicle.
It only goes one speed, and you know where it's going. So I think you could trust Freddie with that. I think you could
I'll stand by my comment.
To the driving chores. 96-68 the count. 28-point lead. Great. We've got the Union, Channel 11, and now Freddie Brown all over us. We're on everybody's hit list.
I'll hear from Fred.
Here's Les.
I'll probably hear from the Union, too.
To Poplawski. Pick and roll to the in line. Up fakes and leans and lays it in. Poplawski knocks Ricky down again.
No, that was Evers Burns just threw Ricky down.
Poplawski with a half dozen. Evers Burns, Jim Poplawski, Walt Williams, Jimmy Les, and Bobby Hurley for Sacramento. 96-70. Backdoor lob to Irvin Johnson. He'll lay it up and in. Who threw that? Was that Vinny Askew? It was a nice lob pass.
Beautiful.
Poplawski over to Burns. Out high on the left. Jab steps. Drives to the inline. Leans back to the rack. Blocked by Kemp. He comes over to grab the ball. Puts a dribble out ahead of him. Here he comes. Scissors his legs. Drives into the lane. Feeds over to Payton. Darts inside. Double clutches a pass to Johnson. And he hits the baseline 10-footer. Man, was that pretty. A lot of French pastry, but it's a deuce. Here's Hurley right side. Drives into the lane. Bump by Kemp. No whistle. Hurley follows through to lay it in. 8 points for Hurley.
You know, Irvin Johnson really does catch the basketball well. Even watching from the first workout when I saw him, you can see he's got nice soft hands.
Soft hands. He will play for the Sonics before the year's out. He will play. He'll see some minutes. Here's Payton. Backdoor lob to Kemp. Threw it up around the rim. Kemp deflects it. Tracks it down to the baseline. Dribbles by Burns. Pushed on the inline and fouled by Evers Burns, the stout 6'8", 260-pound rookie out of Maryland.
Evers Burns and Walt Williams played together in Maryland for 3 years. Walt just 1 year ahead. Shawn totally under control. Just nice dish off to Gary. Gary comes in, draws the defense all the way, and gets it to his big fella there for open J.
On the live action, Shawn Kemp isolated 1-on-1 outside on the wing, and the inbounds drives right to the baseline and lays it up and in. Kemp with 8 points for the ball game. 15 boards, however, for the young man who will turn 24 years of age on November the 26th. What is that? That's our game in Minnesota, isn't it? Here's Les outside with a J. Missed it. Fouled by Askew. Les will go to the line for two. It's Friday at Minnesota. That's a radio-only broadcast on Friday for Minnesota, which means Wally and I won't be wearing ties to the ball game.
Be wearing mufflers, scarves,
and goulashes. Scheffler coming back into the lineup for Ricky Pierce. Ricky got a couple of splinters in his chest when Poplawski ran him down early in the quarter. Less than 9 feathers up the free throw and got it. Jimmy Les. Scheffler is in with Askew, Payton, Irvin Johnson, and Shawn Kemp. Les' second one up. Nailed it. 102-74 the score. 6.5 minutes to go in the ball game. Here's Gary Payton across midcourt. Seattle's led by as many as 30. It's been their largest lead of the ball game. Scheffler swings it over to Kemp, high on the right, looking for Irvin Johnson to set a screen. Works off the pick, drives in with the left hand, lost the handle. Scheffler got it, knocked away, tapped into the hands of Walt Williams. Walt will swing it to Hurley, spins on the backcourt with a dribble. Hurley in traffic, feeds to Burns, drives the inline, stumbles, tried to flip a reverse up, hit the bottom of the glass, grabbed by Johnson, swivels with the outlet pass to Payton, ahead. It comes to Vinny Askew on the run, tried to loop it up with the right hand, missed it. Rebound tapped outside by Burns to Les, over to Hurley on the drive to the glass. Kemp is fouled out, and Les will go to Hurley will go to the line. Kemp with his 6th foul coming at the 5:51 mark. And Shawn will come out with 8 points and 15 rebounds.
Hurley had just taken it to the basket and forced contact. Here he did a nice job. Just a 6-foot player, 160, going against one of the better shot blockers in the game. Not much contact there, and Hurley created it, but Shawn will take a seat.
Kemp, learning the ways of a veteran, now in his 5th year, comes over to Bill Oakes after fouling out. And I'm not sure what he said, but it was a good one-liner because Bill Oakes got a belly chuckle out of it. It's always good to leave the officials with a little calling card.
Absolutely right. And Shawn has been a beneficiary of the calls that a star should get this year more so than past years, and I think that will be a trend.
102-75 the score. Here's Payton working the pick and roll with Irvin Johnson. Covered by Les. Can't get it. Outside to McMillan. Lob pass inside to Irvin. Overthrow him, but he makes a great leap to snare it on the baseline. Send it out to Nate. Over to Sheff. Up fakes Williams. Drives inside. Up with the off-balance left-hander. He's fouled, and Scheffler will go to the line. Walt Williams picks up the foul.
Chef will not do it with finesse here. You just see he lowers that right shoulder, got the off arm going. He's got the strength to get it up.
Scheffler to the line, hits the free throw. Super Chef with the free throw. Scheffler out of St. Joe, Michigan. He loves that cold weather. You kidding? Man, he eats icicles for breakfast. 104-75 the score. 5:28 to go in the ball game. Here's Les, double teamed out beyond the three-point line. Feed it to Hurley. They spread the floor for Bobby. Working one-on-one on Askew. Spins into the lane. Nice feed over to Poplawski. Outside to Les for a three from about 25 feet. Short-armed it. Rebound to McMillan. Long lead pass to Gary. Threw it to him. Out beautifully. Lays it in. He is fouled, and Gary will go to the line. 22 points for Gary Payton. McMillan with his 11th assist, 13 points, and at last word had 8 steals for the ball game. Career high.
He's done it all. He's been everywhere. He's had great court vision, not only seeing the play, but able almost every time to deliver a perfect pass after he reads it.
Gary hits the free throw. It's a 23-point performance for Gary Payton tonight to lead the Sonics to the 107-75 outburst. Johnson saves the ball on the inline, but right to Hurley. Drives into the lane, out to Williams for 3. In and out. Rebound, Scheffler after. Keeps it alive off glass. Scooped up by Johnson. Wheels it ahead to Gary Payton. Gary pounds it down the right side. In low to the posted Askew. Turns, stripped of the ball by Les and out of bounds. Seattle basketball. That dead ball will allow the Sonics to send in Rich King and Ricky Pierce, as Gary Payton will get a curtain call here. Payton 10 of 13 tonight. 3 of 5 from the line. 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 23 points for Gary Payton. And Nate McMillan will check out as well as the Sonics again scoring an inbounds pass to Ricky Pierce. 17 points for Ricky.
This is a big lineup the Sonics have on the floor. Vince Askew at 240 pounds will move to the point guard. And with basically 3 centers up front.
Here's Poplawski, sidesteps Scheffler, but ran into Irvin Johnson, who blocks that shot away. Grabbed by Askew, center it to King, into the lane, lays it up and in. Rich King on the way to the hole.
Why not?
111-75, the Sonics lead it. Man, a pasting tonight on the Kings. Outside it's Les for 3. Jimmy Les got it. Les with 5 for the ball game. Good golly. Sonics up by, what is that, 33 points. Goodness. They have the 36-point lead just a moment ago until the last 3. Here's Askew inside, feeds it low to Means on the post up. Missed it. King is there with a tip jam. Oh, Sky King. I've been waiting a long time to use that, Sky King. And he pushes it down with a right hand on the tip jam. Poplawski down the right side. Missed the shot. Rebound tapped outside. Askew's got it. King's running the floor with Ricky. Here's Askew into the lane over to Rick. Hard skip pass. Can't handle it off the knees. Grabbed by Evers Burns. Outside to Hurley. Over to Poplawski.
Baby, Irvin.
Rejected by Irvin Johnson.
Wanted it.
And feeds ahead to Ricky Pierce. Back to E. Back to Ricky. Pull up J. Yes. Ricky Pierce with 19 points. Irvin Johnson with 2. Big-time rejections of Poplawski. Hurley the pull-up jumper. Hurley sends it through. 115-80 the count. Stolen inbounds pass. Les with a 3. Missed it. Rebound tapped away by Ricky. Ricky knocked down on the floor. Pinned beneath Les. The ball squirts free to Hurley. Les pushes off on Irvin Johnson. Now the rookie grabs Jimmy Les. Now Les wants a piece of Irvin Johnson. Irvin Johnson's got a quizzical look on his face. And Irvin just steps back. He's 26 years old. He's been through the ringer down there in New Orleans. He's cool.
Well, the game obviously has gotten very sloppy. And, of course, frustration's running high for the Kings. Right here, you see Irvin turned to 360 to come back and still have the balance to cleanly block that basketball and the quickness to go after and run it down. They're going to look at it. Textbook defense tells you should slide and face the ball all the time, not turn your back, but great athleticism by the rookie.
Big time blocks. I want to see the replay, though, of Rich King's tip jam when he just packed that ball, as Wally pointed out. We're going to get a chance to look at that. Bob Leibachek.
Well, that was a nice play, but also the running layup. Great agility by the 7-foot player to catch it, not walk, and end up getting all the way to the goal with it.
Hurley will get 2 at the line. He hits the first, and now the second coming. Hurley with a dozen. Watch Rich King come into your picture.
Rich, like the other players, as you pointed out, Kevin, working awfully hard before games, and nice to see him get him some time on the court, as well as Sheff and Irvin Johnson.
That's why this group works well together when there is time at the end of a ball game in a blowout. They work very well together. Here's King again on the post-up, working up Poplawski. Backs him down, feeds into the lane to Sheff. Bobbled it, picked it up, throws up the shot, missed it. Irvin Johnson at the rebound. Evers Burns will grab it. Out to Jimmy Les. Now to Hurley. Pull-up jumper over Sheff. Got it. Hurley with 15 for the contest. 115-84 the count. Sonics up by 31 with 2:28 to go in the ball game. They led by as many as 37. Vincent Askew with the ball high on the left. Feed it low to Johnson. He'll pivot outside. Send it cross court to King. Sidesteps Poplawski back outside, intended for Ricky Pierce. It got away up in the front court. Grabbed by Poplawski. Here he comes on the drive. Over to Les for the 3. Got it. Jimmy Les with a couple of threes. Les with 8 points for the ball game. 115-87 with 2:03 left in the ball game. Vincent Askew will bring it across. The streak is alive for the Sonics. They are now 9-0, or will be soon, with 1:55 left. Here's a cross-court pass. Askew intending it for Pierce, deflected by Les, out of bounds. Houston won tonight. They are 11-0.
And of course, what you're playing for now with George Karl is emphasizing to his club, you want to have the home court advantage against both Houston and Phoenix, and that's why games, even this time of the year with the way Phoenix and Houston are playing, are important.
Vincent Askew with a hard running back shot. Comes off the mark. Hurley leads the break, but a Shillcutt goes airborne. And there's Irvin Johnson again trying to reject Shillcutt. And ooh is Rywall. It looked like Shillcutt was going to come down off balance. He managed to right himself, though, in midair and get the feet under him.
He takes it strong, and Irvin Johnson, a very quick leaper. You can see again, once he recovers after making Hurley pick up a dribble and gets over there, the trademark of all great shot blockers is not just their ability to jump high, but ability to jump quickly, and he has that capacity.
Beats Shillcutt to the line, sends it through. Shillcutt with 10 for the contest. Pete's second, airborne, and hangs on the rim and falls. Shillcutt with 11. 115-89 is our score with 1:37 left in the ball game. Vincent Askew high on the left side. Swings a beautiful pass inside to Ricky. He'll lay it up and in. Beautiful sidearm hook pass into Ricky Pierce. Man, he threw that on the money. 21 points for Ricky.
Of course, Vincent and Ricky have become very close friends, and they work well together.
Hurley with a 3, missed it. Rebound to Burns. Lays it up and in. Evers Burns with the follow-up. 1:15 left. 117-91 the score. Sonics lead it here by 26. Ricky skips it overdue. Vinny Askew, double team left side to Johnson. Touch pass to Sheff. Broken up, tapped away by Shillcutt. Grabbed by Burns. Up it comes to Bobby Hurley. Over to Poplawski. Baseline J over Johnson. Rolls off. Scheffler after the rebound. Hit him in the face. Burns has got it. Leans back. Missed it over King. King with a rebound. Rich with the outlet pass to Vinny. Up it comes to Pierce. Outside intended for Johnson. Under through him and out of bounds. It'll be King ball to Gary St. Jean.
Gary St. Jean looking at basketball, looking and say, yeah, it is round. My club played as if it was square tonight.
117-91 the score. Les outside, rolls one up, missed it. Follow tip by Shillcutt. No, it was Poplawski with the follow and Shillcutt with the tap in. Shillcutt with 13 points for the night. 117-93, 33 seconds left in the ball game. The Sonics leading scoring tonight by Gary Payton's 23, Ricky Pierce 21. Schrempf had 18. Here's Scheffler inside, trying to horse up a scoop reverse. Blocked away. Poplawski tracks down the loose ball, sends it up to Evers Burns. Burns crossover dribble into the lane with the left hand. Grabbed away by Johnson in midair. Out it comes to Pierce. On the break to Vinny. Handed off to the trailer. And it is King who is knocked down. And he will go to the line. Poplawski steps up for the block. And watch this from Irvin Johnson.
Again, great timing, quick leap, and the good hands keeping control of it. And a nice outlet pass as well.
Poplawski decks King. They say brought him down. A flagrant foul called. Scheffler, or I should say King, will get the 2 free throws. And the Sonics will get possession. Rich misses the free throw.
Poplawski gave him a hard foul. I don't really think he tried to hurt him or knock him to the floor. Rich was just a little off balance on that one.
Rich King hits the free throw. 5 points for Rich. And the Sonics will bring it in bounds. 118-93, 8 and 5/10 seconds remaining in the ball game. Askew swings it outside to Pierce, back to Vinny. Sonics will go 9-0. Scheffler on the block wants it. Scheffler back it in on Evers. Burns is tied up by Burns. And a foul finally called by Bill Spooner. That said, I'm trying to get out of here. Trying to get out of the building. Trying to do you folks a favor.
Could not ignore the wrestling match down low. As Chef again trying to just muscle one up there. It's a good muscle matchup. He and Evers Burns.
Chef, ever the polite young man, thanks the official for the basketball on the free throw. Did you see that? I like that.
I didn't see that.
Chef with a second. Got it. The big left-hander out of Michigan sticks them both. Of course, he's a Purdue grad, but he's a Michigander. Here comes Hurley across midcourt. Sways between a double team. Off balance Jay at the buzzer. Off the mark. That ends this ball game with the Sonics defeating the Sacramento Kings to go 9-0. The final, Sonics 120, Kings 93. Back in a moment with a recap on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. Sonics win it tonight, going away 120-93 to go 9-0 this season. And this evening's Campbell's Hot Soup of the night is Nate McMillan. 5 of 7 from the field, 2 of 2 from the line. He hit a three-pointer tonight. 13 points for McMillan with 11 assists and a career-high 8 steals. A career-high 8 steals for Nate McMillan. Campbell's Soup. Never underestimate the power of soup. Back with more of the recap from Marco in a moment on the Sonics Broadcasting Network. Double-figure scoring. Gary with 23. Kemp with 15 rebounds to lead the Soups. What'd you think?
Well, I thought it, again, start to finish, much like the Golden State game. Very focused effort by the Sonics. They came out, got out of the blocks well. Great ball movement, great defense.
9-0. The road trip looking pretty good right now. They'll continue things in Minnesota on Friday. Wally Walker will be back to touch base with Nate McMillan, who had a sensational effort, when we come back here in a moment. 120-93. Sonics over the Kings on the Sonics Broadcasting Network.
Sonics postgame.
120-93. The Sonics beat the Kings to go 9-0. Nate McMillan 5 of 7 from the field, including a three-pointer. Hit a couple at the line. 11 assists, 13 points, and 8 steals, a career high. Nice game for Nate McMillan. Standing by with our Wally Walker. Wally.
Thanks, Kevin. Nate, outstanding ball game at both ends. Let's first of all talk about the shooting. You're stroking with a lot of confidence and good rhythm.
Yeah, I've been looking to shoot the ball more. I worked on it a lot this summer. I'm still working on it because I knew that this year I will be playing more 2 and 3. And, you know, that was the thing that George was telling me to do, is work on the shooting and look for the shot a little bit more.
We just had a clip of you on the steal. You were about 2 inches from having 2 3-point shots tonight, too.
Yeah, the first thing George said once I came to the sidelines was, back up. You know, he had been telling me that earlier in the season, and he told me that when I came to the sideline, and I continue to tell him I know my range.
Now, 8 steals tonight, a career high. You seem to be in almost every defensive series.
Well, I feel comfortable when I'm playing the 2 or the 3, you know, because I'm able to be back there and pretty much play like a free safety, read what the offense is doing, and just make a read on them. So when I'm at the point, it's a little bit more difficult unless I just, you know, rip the ball from the point guard. So I feel comfortable playing the 2 or the 3 where I can be back there like a free safety.
Okay, terrific game, Nate. Thanks. We'll be right back on the Sonics Broadcasting Network.
You're now 9-0 with a win over the Sacramento Kings. 5 players in double-figure scoring, and Nate McMillan with a career-high 8 steals tonight. Shawn Kemp with a season-high 15 rebounds. The 2 young guys, Kemp, Payton, played extremely well. Gary with the 23 tonight.
You got good performances from everybody who was on the floor, and again, the player movement, the ball movement, extremely good. A carryover from the Golden State game, and we hope for the rest of this road trip.
Sonics take on the T-Wolves on Friday. That's a radio only with Wally and I. And then, of course, on Saturday, we will be in Cleveland. That will be televised on Prime Sports Northwest, the Sonics and the Cavaliers. For Wally Walker, I'm Kevin Calabro. The Sonics defeat the Sacramento Kings here tonight to go 9-0. The final 120-93 on the Sonics Broadcasting Network.